If I can load it in, then hopefully we can get to that. I see people already in the chat saying hello, 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 hello. I've downloaded this thing and I don't actually know where it's downloaded. Let me see if it's gone in a folder I didn't want it to go in. Let me find it. Bang, bang. There we go. Could I have done this before the stream started? Sure. Does it matter? Probably. But I'll find the file. There it is. Bang. Hello, WWE AEW fan. Hope you're well, buds. Jojo, hello. Shout out to you. Alfie, hello. And here we are with tonight's lineup. So we have got Wardlow against Powerhouse Hobbs. That is for the TNT Championship. I believe this is as a result of Powerhouse Hobbs winning his Face of the Revolution ladder match. So Powerhouse Hobbs going up against Wardlow. We've also got All Atlantic Championship match, Orange Cassidy taking on Jay Lethal. Apparently, they have faced a couple of times before, and both times they've faced before has been very, very good for the ratings. So that one, again, seemingly they're doing it now. It's 1-1, doing it for a third time, the rubber match. That coming up tonight. We got AR Fox and Top Flight taking on the Jericho Appreciation Society. I would kind of like it, actually. AR Fox and Top Flight seem to be a trio that we get quite often. It would be quite good if they had a trio name, those three, rather than just AR Fox and Top Flight. But a little observation there as they take on Jericho Appreciation Society. We're going to hear from Hangman Adam Page, who I'm amazed is not still in hospital after that brutal match that we saw him have against Moxley on Sunday. Ruby Soho is going to be taking on Skye Blue, and Ruby Soho has joined up with the heels. So she is seemingly going to be acting a bit different now. It's a bit of a character change for her. We've got John Silver and Alex Reynolds taking on John Moxley, who I'm amazed is not still in hospital after that banger from Sunday, and Claudio Castagnoli. And then we're going to be hearing from Ricky Starks as well. I mean, what I would say is it's definitely got some star power to it with John Moxley and Hangman Adam Page. I don't know if there'll be a little recorded comment from MJF or anything. I suppose I'm surprised no Jamie Hayter. I'm surprised not getting the women's champion and hearing from her after a big title defense for her. Orange Cassidy, Jay Lethal apparently does well in the ratings. This is going to have a bump as well. I'm surprised we're not hearing from FTR. That was a big part of the show, wasn't it? Them coming back out. FTR on the show on Sunday. So, yeah, I'm surprised not hearing from FTR. I'm surprised not hearing from Jamie Hayter. But there's still some star power here. And that is our lineup tonight. I can see we got a members thing from JMB434. Shout out to you, buds. Appreciate the support. Hope you're doing well. Chris said, just wonder if you like to come in best of the best of the best of the best. Don't know what you mean. Aubrey Edwards, shout out to you. Jason said, Wardlow car got broken into. They took the championship. Cynthia said, what happened to Shinsuke? Did he get hurt? Haven't seen him in a long time. I actually don't know what's going on with Shinsuke. He wrestled at the start of the year for, was it DDT over in Japan? And it was like a match against the Great Muta. And I remember saying that that's a really great move that is by WWE, because he is someone that is well-liked by Triple H. Triple H, I think, played a big hand. I mean, Shinsuke Nakamura is not a Vince guy, right? That is someone that I think Triple H identified, liked as a talent, wanted to bring in. I think he played a big part in bringing him into WWE and NXT. And I think that down in NXT, we got some really good matches out of Shinsuke. We got some really, I mean, it's so long ago now, it's hard to remember Shinsuke in NXT, but he was a big name down in NXT. They used him well. He came up with loads of momentum, if you remember. When Shinsuke came up, it wasn't just a little deal. It was a video package talking about how he's one of the best international superstars. Wasn't he on the poster of like Backlash? And this was going to be where his first match was going to be. And I seem to remember them really promoting that Backlash as like Shinsuke's first match on the main roster. It didn't take him long to be competing for the WWE Championship. They put him in a feud with AJ Styles, which made a lot of sense. Obviously, they know each other well. So we got a little feuds there. And then after that, we just seemingly ran out of steam, ran out of road, didn't know what to do with him. And he has been dead in the water for the past few years. I know that he was Intercontinental Champion, but whilst he was Intercontinental Champion, there was plenty of jokes doing the rounds about how he never defended that title. Honestly, both he and the Intercontinental Championship went into hibernation whilst he was the champ. And it's just been a bad time. And last year, he was doing stuff with Boogs. And then he went into a quick little tag team with Riddle. I mean, it's all just, what should we do with him now? That's his career in WWE since, I would say, WrestleMania 34. It's like, what shall we do with him now? Well, let's do this. Let's try this. Let's put him in this tag team. Let's put Boogs with him. Let's try him with the Intercontinental belt. It's just, we don't know what to do with him. And there was big high hope when Triple H took over that he would know what to do with him. And so I thought it was a brilliant move having him go back to Japan. Because the thing is, one thing wrestling fans do is talk, right? And so him going to Japan, that's not something WWE do. And so allowing one of their talents to go and work for a different promotion back in Japan did get people talking like, what's this? All of a sudden people speculate about a forbidden door and all this kind of stuff. And I loved it. I thought, it had people talking about Shinsuke. There was a bit of buzz around it. And I honestly wouldn't mind if they let Shinsuke go to New Japan. If they turned around to New Japan and struck up some sort of deal whereby WWE could have one of their stars for a little while, and New Japan could have Shinsuke, that would be a win-win for WWE because they would get a new talent that they could use for a little while. And equally, Shinsuke could go to New Japan, just rediscover that mojo, just rediscover what made him great. I think, to be honest, what he's missing is creative, but what with him being away as long as what he's been away, if he comes back now with good creative, then boom, we can really do something with Shinsuke. We showed that down in NXT. It's just, I don't think Vince believed in him. I don't think Vince saw anything in him. And so I don't believe he's injured. I'm not aware of any injuries. As I said, I'm aware that he wrestled a match just earlier this year. I expected him in the Rumble, and it never happened. I was really surprised to not see him in the Rumble, actually. But, once he comes back, I think we can really do something. Because hopefully Triple H will have a plan in place for him. And, we'll book him right, put him in some good feuds. We could really do something. He's got a good size to him as well, Shinsuke. He's not a small guy. He's got, a nice height to him. I know he's not the most jacked of people. He's not the most physically ripped of people, but he's an excellent striker. We spoke the other day about it would be fun to have a compilation of all the strikes and how good people are at striking. So get an example of striking from all the wrestlers, and then you could rate them as to how good they are. And honestly, Shinsuke is one of the best when it comes to striking. There's so many people that are rubbish at it. But he is very, very good. And he's got a good moveset as well. He was in New Japan. You've got to be a good wrestler over in New Japan. That's an expectation over there that you can wrestle. His promo work is obviously limited because he doesn't really have the greatest command of English. You could maybe make the argument that he needs... I don't know that he needs a manager. Maybe he needs a translator or something like that. Maybe he needs a little faction. Maybe he needs a group. I could see him as the leader of a group. I could see him as the leader of the group, definitely. You put him in a group with, like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like you need some young, up and coming talent that's excellent at striking. I wonder if he'd be any good with the likes of Charlie Dempsey. Charlie Dempsey is a proper in-ring competitor, and he might even work well with the Creeds. Again, they're very, very solid in-ring. But and I could imagine them wanting to learn from Shinsuke. You know, they're always looking to improve. They're always in their kind of gymnasium. Well, you know, they could learn from Shinsuke and go to Shinsuke's dojo and develop their wrestling skills further. Like, that's definitely a story that I think you could tell. Whether you'd want to tell that story, obviously, I'm not sure, but he's got a good size to him, and you could definitely see him as the leader of a faction. And maybe they, like, you know, he could talk and they could translate. They could say, like, you know, Mr. Nakamura says, maybe something like that. Mr. Nakamura wants you to, and they can relay whatever he's saying. There's a few different ways I think you could go. But first of all, we need to get him back. So, what do you think the main event night one of WrestleMania? Charlotte and Rhea, or Usos, Sammy and Kevin Owens? Says Lincoln. I think Usos. We spoke about this the other day, actually, and we were saying that, you know, really Rhea should main event, because if you win the Rumble, then, you know, you are, you know, winning the right to main event WrestleMania. So I think if you, you know, it should be Rhea technically. But I just think that when would the tag teams main event? When would it be the tag teams? Because we don't have a tag team Royal Rumble. So I understand people saying, it has to be Rhea. She's won that right. I totally understand. But the counter argument would be, well, if you go by that logic, when would the tag teams and the tag titles ever main event WrestleMania? There has to be a few years where we have an exception. And who knows? I mean, I don't know if we will ever get there, but the women's title and the tag titles might be the strongest stories going. Right? We might find ourselves in the situation where the champion is helping out, like, say, Roman is in a tag feud and his partner is Solo and they're feuding with the tag champs. Who knows? We might get to one year where the tag titles main event WrestleMania and night one. And then night two, it's the women. And it could be another Becky situation or something like this. So, you know, I think that we need to be flexible when it comes to things like that. And obviously, last year we had a match that wasn't for a title. It was Stone Cold and Kevin Owens. But I do think the majority of years should be the women on one night, the men on the other night. I think if you win the Royal Rumble, that's the prize. You get the title match. You get to main event at WrestleMania. And I don't think any of us that buy in this, there's multiple main events. There's multiple big matches, right? There's multiple big matches, but there's only one match that closes each night. We're very fortunate in that we can now have two, because we've got two nights. So I would normally have the winner of the Women's Rumble, and I would normally have the winner of the Men's Rumble. That's the prize. Many congratulations. Go to WrestleMania. But I think, as I said, there has to be exceptions. There has to be. Otherwise, you know, when would the tag teams main event? And there is no story hotter than the Bloodline story. So for me, it's a no-brainer that this year would be that exception. And we would go with Usos. We would go with Sammy. We would go with, you know, just look at what's closing the shows. Look at what closed the show on Monday. You know, what closed the show on Monday was Sammy and Jay and all of that kind of stuff. And this story has been, you know, the Bloodline story has been really what's turned the ratings around. I don't think there's really much else that's kind of really had the impact to the ratings. I mean, it feels like White Rabbit was a success. I would say that definitely helped, but that was a long time ago now. And I don't think the Uncle Howdy story has grabbed people the same way that White Rabbit did. So I can't really point to that and say that it's that. But I think it was Sammy, and I think it was the Bloodline, and so I think they deserve that reward. I mean, it's undeniable that Sammy and Bloodline have had a bigger impact on ratings than Rhea and Charlotte. Like, Rhea and Dominic's relationship is fun, but it's not as impactful as what the Bloodline story has been. So I would go with them. Sure, we all didn't just travel back in time to Tuesday night, said Eric. I think I need a good holiday. Has anyone got any recommendations? Says Dort Knights. Florida. I love Florida. I would always go to Florida. It says NXT. Oh, it does, doesn't it? Good spot. Oh, that must mean that I've just got the wrong slight setup. Let me change that text. Bang. Imagine this match, me and Swerve with Mogul affiliates at ringside versus you and a partner of your choice. Who would you choose? I wouldn't choose anyone, but I'd be streaming. I would stream it. I'd be here for the community. You know me. I'm a man of the people. Really glad to see House of Black today. I think their reign should hopefully last for a good few months. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, there was some really, really good stuff that came out of Revolution. That was definitely one of them. And I was looking, I read about 10 different people's thoughts on Revolution. And everyone said the Elite against House of Black was better than Christian versus Jungle Boy. I much preferred Christian Jungle Boy, to be honest. But then I'm not the biggest Young Bucks fan. I'm not really into that kind of style of wrestling. It was all right. I mean, the match was all right. I didn't have any problems with it. I wasn't like moaning and complaining about it. It's just I preferred the burial match. I thought that was better. I enjoyed it more. But there was a lot of praise for that trios match, and a lot of praise for the fact that they've gone in a different direction and gone with the House of Black. So yes, now is the time to capitalize. They're not actually on the official. Having said that, they're not actually on the official preview for tonight, are they? It's for me, this is a little weird because there are some big names missing, and I understand they might be banged up following what we saw on Sunday. But I mean, honestly, if Hangman and John Moxley can get out there after what they went through, I would imagine like there's very little reason as to why we can't be getting some other people out there. And maybe we still will, you know. Maybe we'll still hear from the House of Black and we'll still hear for Jamie Hayter, but they're only going to be little video messages and they're not big enough to kind of put here on the official preview, you know. But the House of Black I definitely would have expected to have heard from because this is the time to capitalize now. Now that they've actually got something they can shout about. They've got something that they can have a segment about. I mean, I would give them a big promo in ring and give them microphones and tell them to, you know, we told you all this was coming. We've told you all that we were, you know, the dominant force here in AEW. And there is no prize to show that we are a more dominant force or the most dominant force than these trios championships. And, you know, I'd have them kind of going off for a little bit like that. So maybe we'll, as I said, still get that, but it'll just be a pre-recorded message. And same with Jamie Hayter, same with MJF. Be interesting to hear what Danielson thinks is next for him. I watched MJF at the post press conference, but I didn't hear from Danielson. I didn't stick around because, I mean, in all fairness, the MJF bit went on a fair bit. So we listened to that because obviously that seemed like it was going to be the most interesting, but I didn't see if Danielson was on it. So I actually don't know if he said anything, and if he did, what he said. So he's someone I would like to hear from as well and see kind of what he thinks is next for him. Because it doesn't feel like another MJF match is going to be in the works. They've just done an hour, and I know that MJF cheated to win, but Danielson equally had an hour to get the win, and he couldn't do it. I mean, bottom line, he failed. So, you know, he had an hour to win that match. If he is like this dominant, better wrestler, well, then he didn't show it because there wasn't much corner cutting from MJF. There was a couple of moments, low blow, obviously, and the very ending. But as I said, other than that, in an hour, Danielson had ample opportunity to win that match, and he didn't do it. It did make MJF look really legit. So, I don't think there's really much ground for a rematch. I mean, honestly, if he's going to moan about how that match ended, my feeling on it would be, well, you had plenty of time to win it, and you didn't. So, sorry. Time for someone else. Time for someone new, but I don't know. I don't quite know who that'll be. We did hear him mention a few names afterwards, though, so there's definitely potential out there. He was talking about the likes of, he called out Jungle Boy, he called out Sammy Guevara, he called out Claudio. He kind of went through a bit of a list of people that bothered him. He seemed to spend more time on Claudio, to be honest. So it wouldn't surprise me if Claudio might be next. And Claudio just gets it won't be a big feud. It would just be a little thing just to kill a few weeks. And then we end up getting a match, and MJF will get the better of Claudio, and continue on till his next big feud, which might take us into the next pay-per-view, which I don't think would be Claudio. I think Claudio, they just haven't really built up that much, to be honest. He seems to be hitting the same ceiling that he was hitting in WWE, doesn't he? I mean, Claudio is such a great wrestler, but I don't know, his personality just never seems to come across. And he's always outshined by other people. And so as a result of that, he kind of just finds himself constantly in the background. So it'd be good for him to get that sort of a spotlight and see what he does in that spotlight with the freedom that AEW brings. So, Defcon Eric, shout out to you. Said you had more people watching than Cultaholic and What Culture. Did we? That's pretty cool. I never look. I don't even look afterwards, to be honest. That's pretty cool. Okay, well, a big thank you to everyone that joined us. That's cool. I mean, I don't know. I can't sit here and say as to why that would be the case. They're clearly much bigger channels than what we are. I mean, What Culture's got nearly 1 point some million subscribers, so that's a mental. So that's really cool. I really appreciate that, and everyone joining us. So that's mental, innit? That is mental. That is really cool. Defcon Eric and Jack Styles Playground. Shout out to you. But how do you think a 24/7 title would do in AEW? The title can be worn anywhere in the world, said Inside Out and Again. Not very well. Not very well, because they sort of did that a little bit with the All Atlantic Championship at the start, and it just wasn't working for me. We were seeing clips of it being defended in different indie promotions, and I just wasn't that bothered. I wasn't bothered. The thing is that if it changes hands, you sort of feel like you missed out on the match, and if it's not live, you feel like you missed out on the match. So, if they're going to do things like defending it at Rev Pro, which I think is where they did defend it, if it doesn't change hands, then I'm not bothered, right? Defend it there, brilliant. Something nice for the live crowds, brilliant. But if it does change hands, well then, unless I'm watching the match live on Dynamite, then I'm going to feel, which is going to be very hard to do, because first of all, Dynamite starts at 1 a.m, so that rules out any of the British promotions. So you'll never be able to watch it live unless Dynamite starts at a very special early time, just so that you could do that. It would have to be pre-recorded. Now, if it's pre-recorded, that means the live audience already know what's happened, and so it's already going to have leaked. So they're going to show you a match where you already know the results, which is going to take drama out of it for the casual fans. For those, if it's a big deal, say Mankind winning the WWE Championship, and it's really something that people want to see. So, for example, Cody. If Cody won the WWE Championship, and for some reason it wasn't live, it was pre-recorded, that would still get great ratings and people would still care, because even though they know Cody's winning it, there's people want to see Cody winning it, right? And so it would still get great ratings. Case in point, Mankind, that being spoiled by WCW in the late 90s. They said on their show, oh, let's have a look, see what WWF are doing. Oh, they've got Mankind winning the title. That'll put butts in seats, right? And then a load of people changed the channel because they just spoiled the result and gave away the result because Raw was taped. And a load of people went, really? And changed the channel, right? So even though they'd just been told the result, it didn't stop them from wanting to see it. But, and this is the big but, right? This is the Cardi B but. If it's something that you just don't necessarily care about, it's not going to have people clamoring to see it. So, for example, Pac defending the All-Atlantic Championship against Sammy Guevara in Rev Pro, and the title changes hands. I don't care. I'm just being honest. I don't care. They haven't done anything to make me care about Pac. They haven't done anything to make me care about Sammy Guevara recently. Unless you're really into those guys as wrestlers, or you're a really big AEW fan that just is going to love anything about AEW, I wouldn't care about that. And so if you're going to show me that on tape and I already know the results, I'm not bothered. It's not going to do it for me. I'm not going to care. So it's going to be really, really difficult to have a belt and defend it around the world and have it be a thing that people care about and show them on Dynamite. The only way you could do it would be to have it go around the world. And again, if someone wins it, even if it's someone good and it's in a promotion that's you just don't even know how you would watch it. So if they go to Beyond and defend it, but someone legitimately good wins it there, and you are interested, trying to find that match, it's going to be a bit difficult, isn't it? And even if they show the highlights, it's not going to be satisfying, is it? Watching the highlights, I don't know. It's just thwart with problems for me. That is. I think the idea of having a belt that goes around the world and spreads the brand around the world and all that kind of stuff, you can see why it makes sense. But how do you present that belt to the AEW fans on a weekly TV show in a way that they would care? Because in this modern world, all of them results are getting spoiled. All of those results are going to be found out well before. If this was back in the day, that would be sick. Imagine in the late 80s, you've got a belt that goes around the world, right? AEW are here, late 80s, belt goes around the world. You don't know the results because, surprise, surprise, there is no internet and there are no mobile phones. And so you have to wait for Wednesday to find out what's happened with the belt, who's got it, where did it get defended, and everything is presented in a little segment where they talk about the global championship, and they talk about when it was defended, how those matches went. We look at some of the clips, and then if there was a title change, they show us maybe the match, or they show us whatever, and we see the scenes inside the venue, and you would only know once a week what had happened. That would be awesome. But that's just not the world we live in now, is it? The world we live in now with social media, news would break onto Twitter about it, and everyone would hear about it at different times because not everyone's going to get the news at the exact same moment. And it's a bit messier, isn't it? It's just a bit messier. But the general idea of it makes on paper sounds good. I couldn't really. That would be a tough one. If ever I did find myself going into a creative for a wrestling company, and that was an idea that was proposed, that is one that you would honestly sit there and go, how the hell do I do this? A lot of things in wrestling you can figure out and go, okay, well, we could do that, we could do that, we could do that. Well, how about we do this, do this, right? That one, I'd be like, wow, that is tricky. That one is tricky. That one's gonna need that one needs a bit of thought. That would have to go on the come back to it later pile. Like, how do we do this? How do we present this? Erase Your Mind, shout out to you, buds. Shout out to you. I hope you are well. I think Jay tells Sammy, Steve, shout out to you. He had to super kick him as he hugged him. Then he pushes Jimmy off quickly and lays in some weak punches. Lets Solo get a couple in. Then as Cody's music hits, he pushes Sammy away. What, so you think that it was fake and that he was trying to... he's actually chosen to be with Sammy, but says, sorry, I need to do this and blah, blah, blah. I don't think that's what's happened. I think he has gone back to the Bloodline, but that is a theory that I've seen that he could have done that. I think he's made his choice. I think he's made his choice. I think that he is back, and I think we get the Usos versus Sammy and Kevin at WrestleMania. Now, after that match, if they lose the titles, what Jay does then could be interesting. Could be interesting. What the Usos do then. What happens to the Bloodline then? That could be interesting. But, yeah, there is definitely that thought to him in the rounds that it could be fake. Could be a play. Could be a plan. Could be a trap. Godfather's host said, Days, this Dynamite card looks poor. Tony should pull the gun. Pull the gun. And start off with a bang after Revolution. If I was him, I'd get Hater to dance on the turnbuckles, shaking that badunka dunk. Oh, love that is honestly, I think the first time that badunka dunk has ever been put in the chat. It might have been written, but I seriously can never remember reading it before. Badunka dunk. That is awesome. We need more of that. Godfather's Ho, shout out to you. Normally, when I start Godfather's Ho's comments, I have the same feeling of dread as when I would start like a William Hensey comment. But that actually went to a good place, didn't it? In all fairness. Badunka dunk. I don't mind that at all. Respect. Planet Dan said, Days, how are you? I'm good, thank you. I'm currently dog sitting. And I am here watching together. Can we get a shout out? Planet Dan, ASMR. His name is Bobby Hay, the cockapoo. That would be greatly appreciated. Bobby Hay. Weird name, innit? Wouldn't they just go with Bobby? Bobby Hay. Is that like a thing or something? Like Bobby Hay, the cockapoo? I don't understand. Bobby Hay. That's just his name. They called him Bobby Hay. Is there someone called Bobby Hay that's famous? Why would you name a dog Bobby Hay? I understand them calling it Bobby. Even I could go with them calling it Hay if it looks like hay. Maybe it's the same color as hay. But like, why would you go Bobby Hay? Why would you go with both? And Bobby Hay sounds like a character out of Happy Days, doesn't it? Or something like this. Like, in my mind, I've got total 1950s vibes going on. I've got total 1950s vibes. I've got, like, burger joints and, those kind of cars that were long and they've got, like, Chevrolets or something, are they? Whatever the kids used to drive in the 1950s. Chevrolets. I've gone with that. It might not be. I think one was called a Thunderbird. Was there a Thunderbird? I've got all that in my head. Bobby Hay. Sounds like he had a hit, does he? Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Hay. Well, my baby loves me. I don't think the dog was doing that, but that's the mental image I've got. My comments are usually so repulsive, you can't even view them on the screen, said Erase Your Mind. Well done. Even the screen's starting to decline seeing them now. We turn the clocks ahead or back. Oh, when's that happening? When's the clocks changing? It'll do it automatic for me, won't it, in all fairness? Hot rods. Bibby Hay, said Bonzo. Yes, Bibby Hay. Is that what they weren't called hot rods, were they? I thought a hot rod was one of those kind of You know, those kind of cars where you can actually see the engine, and they tend to do drag races. I thought that was like a hot rod. I thought like I didn't think there was hot rods in the 50s. I don't know, I could be wrong. My 50s knowledge has literally all come from the odd episode of Happy Days that I've seen. Do you know, I would love, actually, if I could, I would love to go back to the 1950s in America. That just seems like such a magical time. Like the 1950s in America. Do you know what I mean? Like, just drive-in cinemas. And, like, everyone seems super polite. Like, honestly, like, everyone seems polite. It seems like anyone that was, like, a bit of a rogue wore white T-shirts and leather jackets, right? So you could identify them as being rogues. And then anyone that was like, you know, everyone else, the general population, they were all just like, let's go to the burger joint, watching I Love Lucy, going down to the beach. Everyone went to the beach in the 1950s in my mind. And like all the dads are just at home after work with a pipe, wearing sensible slippers. It just seems like the 1950s America to me just seems like ideal home life kind of vibes, you know? I mean, the idea of there being like murders and all this, I just don't think there was. I don't think there was murders. I think if there was any crime, I think it was petty crime. And I think it was probably caused by those that wore white shirts and black jackets, leather jackets. Very much, yes, I am getting my references from Grease, the movie. I am getting my references from Happy Days. I've never actually watched I Love Lucy, but I know that it's meant to have been a massive deal, massive thing. In fact, my 50s knowledge is appalling now. I'm trying to think of like films from the 50s. When was Streetcar Named Desire? I have seen that once. Didn't have a clue what was going on, but I have seen it. 1950s? Hey, do you know who's around in the 1950s? Gorgeous George. Gorgeous George. You could go and watch a bit of Luthez. That'd be good. Bit of Luthez. You got Buddy Rogers coming in towards the end. You got, I don't think that was Antonino Rocca. I think that was just a bit after his run, but who would have been at the Garden at that time? Gorgeous George would have gone over there. Oh, that's interesting. Do you know, there's a really interesting documentary channel that talks about the territories. And there's, I wonder if I can find it. Gotta give them props if I can. Because I need to watch it again. But they talk about the Capital Wrestling. And that's what WWF would have been back in the 50s, would have been Capital. And so, you know, you would have had the Capital Stars. Capital. Hang on, we're doing a slight diversion. Bear with me. We ventured into the 50s. All of this because of Bobby Hay. All of this because of Bobby Hay. Capital Wrestling. Let's have a little look. Here we go. Capital Wrestling Corporation. Original wrestling documentaries. That's what you need to watch. You want to learn about the 1950s. Get a window capture. And I will jump to the chat. Here it is. Look. There. Tales. I've watched this channel. Oh, it's gone. Where did it go? Where did it go? There it is. Yeah, I've watched this channel a couple of times. Original wrestling documentaries, Tales from the Territories, WWF Capital Wrestling. That's number 7 of 30. It's only 9 minutes long, but that'll talk about the 1950s. And it will talk about WWF, which obviously I've never seen that. What's that? Wrestling Scout. What's that? This video is a little overview of Capital Sports, which later became WWF, which obviously then I've never seen this one. Oh, sick. I've never seen that one. When was that? 11 years ago. How did I miss it? Hey, look at this. Capital Wrestling promo from 1958. Buddy Rogers versus Johnny Valentine. Capital Wrestling, 1953. Haystack Calhoun. That was 61 though. Oh my god. Oh my god. Hey, what's this? Hold on, I don't want to be getting no trouble. Oh, look at that high def. Look at that high def picture right there. Capital Wrestling promos, heavyweight. Oh my god, they've got heavyweight wrestling episodes. Heavyweight wrestling, I think I'm right in saying, is the first ever WWE TV show. Heavyweight wrestling from Washington, I believe, was the first ever show that they were doing. They've got one right here. Oh my god. That's 66. That is WWE from 1966. How mental. Hey, I know that was a couple of minutes journey into something that no one cared about apart from me. But yeah, there's some really good stuff you can find on YouTube. Maggie said, I've been told we're due some snow here in Scotland. So today, I'm surprised it's not happened. We had a bit of snow today in the UK. We had a little bit of snow. And it was a dusting. I don't know if it was heavier in other places, but yeah, we had a little bit. I had a little bit of lag trouble before we started. So I was like, oh, man, this is going to be a nightmare. But actually, it's held up all right in it. I don't think we've had much lag at all. So looks like we'll be all right. People saying hello to people. Hello to everyone. If you are just joining us, then this is our lineup today. I won't run through it, but you can see what we've got coming up. A couple of championship matches, trios match, tag team match, Hangman Adam Page, Ricky Starks, Ruby Soho, Skye Blue. That's the lineup. Day's show starts at 12 a.m. next week. LFG American time change. Oh, okay. Thank you. You'd think I'd be happy about that, but well, I am. It just means that we start earlier, which should be all right. Should be all right. I mean, we'll start at 11 now, rather than starting at 12. That does mean I need to move Wrestling Escape Pod because that's going to affect Tuesdays, isn't it? So it does mean I need to just sort a few things. So, okay. Good to know. Good to know. Did I miss a super chat? Did one come through or did I read it? Did I not read it? Yes. At DEFCON, Eric and Jack Styles Playground, shout out to you, said, you can crash here when you come to Florida. We've got FYEs and NXT. I know, man. You know me well. You know me well. I love going to NXT. If I went to Florida again, and I really do want to, I would definitely go to an NXT house show. Probably Tampa, because almost certainly we'd be in the Orlando area. And yeah, I could see us going to Tampa, going to a house show there. I had a great time last time. I had a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. And FYE, yeah, I mean, I used to work in an entertainment store. So entertainment stores, places that sell music, DVDs, stuff like that, they're always going to be close to my heart because I spent 15 years working in one. And so FYE is... I mean, I've seen a few little independents, but FYE is the only chain I think I've seen, which, to be honest, is a chain that I don't even know if it's that big in America, but certainly it is. It had a few places, a few locations in Florida. Some of them have sadly closed, but I went to one. I did a toy hunt in one. Brilliant. Brilliant. Managed to find some really great wrestling stuff in there. They had like New Day pops. They had these kind of like New Day. You can make your own ice pop with them. And they also had bootios. They had some like towels. They had some amazing box sets. They had like the Undertaker casket box set that's got all of his WrestleMania matches in. I didn't buy it 'cause obviously I've seen all his WrestleMania matches, and I didn't feel like I needed it just for the box. But I did buy the Macho Man one, which we've shown before, which is kind of big, and that's got like a T-shirt and glasses and stuff inside, and 2 DVD box sets. I've never watched it, but yeah, that's still I love to go to those shops. Love to go to those shops. You lot in America get some DVDs we don't get as well. It's probably not a thing anymore, to be honest. I mean, what with streaming services, you can pretty much find anything, can't you? Like, if I wanted to watch some obscure American show, I could either find it on a streaming service somewhere, or I'm sure I'd be able to find it online somewhere, or even buy episodes from Amazon or something. You can pretty much find. That wasn't the case back in the day. Again, it's the technological advances that we've seen in our lifetimes just over the past 20 years is just, it's mental. It's mental. Like the way the world has changed within that time frame. It's just, I mean, this wouldn't be possible, would it? This wouldn't be possible. Streaming over the internet and streaming over YouTube and having the technology that we do have in order to do what we do now, it just wouldn't be possible. So, yeah, God only knows where we'll be in 100 years, 200 years. What will 200 years look like? What will the technology in 200 years look like, considering how it has advanced over the past 20? Crazy to think about. Makes me think of the 1950s again. It really does. If only they could see. I mean, 1950s was what, 70 years ago? I mean, their minds would be blown right now if they could see. If the adults then could see what we've got now. Because, in all fairness, if you was an adult then, 70 years later, you'd be in your 90s now. I suppose, yeah, there's still people around in their 90s, aren't they? I have to ask them. Find some 90-year-olds. Because they would have been 20 in 1950. That's crazy, isn't it? We could do that. We could ask. There might be a channel that does it, that gets 90-year-olds and asks them, like, how mental is it comparing the modern world to living in the 1950s? That's the only someone that was there could answer that question. And I wonder if that does exist. I wonder if there is a YouTube channel that does that. I am just firing out some great ideas right now. Take them. Start your own channels. Have them. How'd you feel about Backlash being in Puerto Rico? Bad Bunny hosting it. Love it. Love it. And that might surprise people, but I love it. Everyone knows I'm not a fan of celebrities in wrestling that wrestle, right? Celebrities in wrestling is fantastic for wrestling because you want new eyes on the products, like Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, like all these people that we've used, Pamela Anderson, people coming in and bringing eyes into the world of wrestling. You absolutely want that. Absolutely want that. Where I have a problem is when Bad Bunny is doing Canadian destroyers to The Miz. That's where I get off, like, the hype train. And that's where I start to have a problem with things. I think that, like, him going in the ring is a problem. And, but him hosting, I have no issue with that whatsoever. That's a great way to use him. One of the biggest music artists in the world. It's brilliant that he's a fan of WWE. And so him being the host and getting his fan base to tune in, brilliant. Him being us going to Puerto Rico. I mean, what are the fans in Puerto Rico like? What are the chants in Puerto Rico? Are the stadiums outdoors? Is it a stadium? Is it an arena? Are there arenas outdoors? I don't know the answers to these questions. Is it going to have a Puerto Rican flavor? What are the graphics going to be like? What's the entranceway going to be like? Is everyone going to be wearing, like, Hawaiian shirts or something, like, on commentary? Or are they still going to be in suits, like, or is it going to have a bit of a holiday vibe to it? Are we going to have, like, some, like, interesting interview areas? Like, is the kickoff show going to be on the beach? Like, I don't know what we're going to do. But there's so many questions because we're going to Puerto Rico. I mean, like, this is amazing. So I love it. I've said for the longest time, WWE should go around the world and get and really make the shows feel like they are coming from these places. So don't just give me the same generic arenas. If we go to Puerto Rico, right, and it's in an arena and it looks and feels exactly like any other show, I will be devastated, right? I'll be gutted. Because if you're going to go to a country like that, in a part of the world, we just never do these types of shows. We don't even do Raws or SmackDowns from these parts. If they go there, they're house shows that we never see. So if you're going to go there, go big. Go big. Make it feel special. Make it feel unique. I want to feel like I want to feel like I am going to Puerto Rico, right? Whilst I'm watching it on TV, I want to be able to feel like I'm being transported there as well. Like, I want to get a flavor. I want to see around the place. I want to learn a bit about the culture. That'd be great, actually, if they just took a moment where we had a couple of wrestlers who were like, that go around like some of the local interesting areas. I have no idea what they do there. Do they make a certain spirit? Or do they grow a certain crop? Or what? I don't know what they're famous for. But you could have some wrestlers go and find out. And we could have just a very quick, short vignette where we just go to a place. We just learn about what it is that they do. Like, give me a taste. Give me a flavor of what this country's about. Yeah? And make it different. I don't want to feel like I'm just watching Raw and SmackDown. So... yeah, I wish we would go further. Like, when they went to Wales, we didn't really learn anything about Wales. I think we just saw some graphics that were like, said the word Cardiff or something. I have no idea. But we didn't really learn anything, did we? I don't really feel like we got a taste of being in Wales. And that's a real shame. That is a real shame. They should have done more there. Because Wales is a fantastic country. Fantastic country. It's got a great heritage. It's famous for lots of things. Could have easily had some wrestlers go out and, learn about the local culture and just giving you I know people are tuning in for the wrestling, but I just think it adds to the presentation, I don't want to feel like I'm watching Raw and SmackDown, like the same show. If you're going to go to the effort of going somewhere different and so far away, give me that extra flavor. Give me that flavor. So, yeah, I love it. I've got nothing bad to say about any of it. It's brilliant. Is that Anna Dawes that I can see? Anna Dawes? Hello, stranger. How are you? How's Hales Owen Wrestling, or whatever it was called? I can't remember what it was called now. Hales Owen Wrestling Federation, HWF. Days, we've got under a foot of snow. It's going to snow all night. I'll try and get a pic on Twitter tomorrow to show the carnage. Have you? You. I mean, you're not that far away from me. You're probably... I don't know how long it would be. Probably about an hour and a half, something like that. We've got a dusting. If I was to take a picture right now, you would see that there was snow on the ground. But it's not a foot, nowhere near a foot. It is... I'd go with the dusting, so... Oh, I wonder if that means it's coming to me or if maybe it's just missed me this time. Don't know. I'm past the age of wanting snow, to be honest. I'm not really sitting here hoping that it comes. If anything, it's almost certainly going to cause disruption to the streams. So I'm quite happy for you to have it, Anna. Quite happy for you to have it. Hopefully it doesn't disrupt Hales Owen Wrestling Federation. Yeah, it's great to see you around, Anna. I hope life's treating you well, my friend. Rest with Andy, hello. Have you got your Just Bleed tattoo done yet? It's not me that needs it, is it? It's Jonathan Moxley. He's the one that needs a Just Bleed tattoo. Yeah, that will forever be iconic. Won't he? That UFC guy. I wonder what he does now. I wonder if he still gets approached about it and if people recognize him in the street. He was very, very famous for a hot minute there. For those that don't know, there was a guy in the crowd. I can't remember the show, an early UFC show, and he had his shirt off and he had "Just Bleed" written on. And as they were hyping up the next fight, they went to him and he was like, "Ah!" like screamed in the camera, tensed up, showed off like his muscles, and he had "Just Bleed," and he sort of he sort of embodied the spirit like combat within that few seconds that he was shown. He could have captured the imagination of people watching, and so he became a very famous meme. And yeah, they should show him, actually. It's the 30 years, isn't it? I don't think they've showed him yet this year on any of the shows. I can't remember seeing him. Life of Daz said, hope all is well. I'm good, thank you. Life of Daz, I hope you're well as well. Yeah, I'm good. We're 3 minutes away from AEW. What have we got coming up, actually? I always like to think about what we've got coming up. We've I say only, it is a good UFC show this weekend, but that's all we've got this weekend. It's a little bit quiet. Oh, we do have a member stream tomorrow, which I haven't set up yet. But member stream tomorrow. If you are a member of the channel and you want to send over a 1 minute video clip, can be audio, can be visual, do it. Anything you want to talk about. I don't care if it's wrestling or if it's not wrestling, whatever you want to bring up, it's your show, right? So you get the opportunity to lead the conversation. And so send in a video clip, just a minute, and we'll play it. And then obviously we can just discuss whatever it is that you want us to discuss. It could be a question, it could be a theory, it can be facts, it can be wrestling related, it could be non-wrestling related, whatever you want. I mean, I would air it on the side of PG, of course, but yeah, we'll do that tomorrow. So we're trying to do those every couple of weeks, and honestly, like, this is such a better way of doing it. This feels like a very comfortable, easy way of doing it. We've tried a few different ways of doing it before. It never kind of worked. But I think every couple of weeks, I can definitely fit that in my schedule. And I think people sending in video clips, that's always fun, isn't it? So, yeah, email them over to wrestlingdays@gmail.com. And in the title, put member stream, please, because then I can just search member stream and lovely. Life of Daz said, it is bloody cold. I hate snow. Well, get indoors. Stuff. What, are you lying in it or something? Get inside, mate. Get inside. AEW is going to start soon. You've only got 1 minute 40. So you ain't got long to go, and then we'll be starting with AEW. So get inside, mate. Warm up. Have some cocoa. Can you do some retro watch-alongs, says Daz. Can we do some retro watch-alongs? Maybe. I don't know. I'm torn on them because they... people enjoy them, but it's not like they get crazy ratings or anything. Like, if you think we've got 270,000 subscribers on the channel, I suppose, I mean, look, the same could be said for NXT and AEW, in all fairness. NXT tends to get about 5,000 people joining us, and probably the same for AEW. Like, these streams, if it's not Raw, not Smack, I mean, Raw, SmackDown tend to get around 15. These ones tend to get about 5. The watch-alongs, honestly, if they get to 5, then that's a minor miracle. They do even below that. So it seems like there's even less interest in those than there is for, like, obviously NXT and AEW. So, I don't know. The only problem with is they take obviously a little bit of time to set up. Not long, but let's say an hour. And then you watch them, there's 3 hours. So that's like 4 hours that I do just wonder if I could spend working on videos, which I know you haven't seen yet, right? I know you haven't seen, but I am working on videos. I've been working on videos for months. I've been working on videos for years, actually, if I'm going to be honest. I just keep changing what they're about. But I don't know. I don't want to commit to something and then not do it. So I'll give it some thought. I could see us doing something the week before. Which is not that far away, actually. I think there's only 25 days to go. Right, we're going straight over then to the action, as always. Tony said, what an event Revolution was, and what a program we've got tonight. Orange Cassidy comes out. So I think has he started the past 3 shows? Orange Cassidy versus... Now, according to Tony, he says, and I think the numbers do legit back this up, that this has been like one of the best received matches that we've had this year. Apparently the ratings for Orange Cassidy against Jay Lethal was really big. So it does definitely seem like Orange Cassidy has got some momentum at the moment. Seems like him being this All-Atlantic champion is definitely resonating. So we're starting with Orange Cassidy against Jay Lethal. He makes his way down, reaches into his bag, pulls out the championship. Jay Lethal will be making his way down. Watching fun. I know they have no longevity or rewatchability, but they help new people to the channel, said Dortnight. Well, yeah, I mean, that is true. That is true. That is definitely something the channel needs, though. I'm very aware of that. It needs content that you can revisit, you know? We do so many Raw watch-alongs that once they're finished, that is it. You know, maybe the next day if someone missed Raw, they might check it out, but that's it. Same with SmackDown, same with NXT, same with AEW. Probably the same with the pay-per-views as well. So, yeah, definitely needs some sort of content people can return to. And again, as you just said, that's not the watch-alongs. That doesn't really do it either. So, I don't know. That's always why I'm just a bit hesitant. Right. Jay Lethal has made his way down. They always start with pockets, and the ratings are low, said Travis. Well, I mean, the ratings are at their highest at the start. I think actually, to give them a bit of credit, I don't think the drop off during his match is that great. So, you know, the start of the show, the ratings are going to be the highest. People are going to tune in to see what we've got. And then I don't think there's a massive decline for the first segment for this first match. It's just obviously as the show goes on, it continues to decline until we get to wherever we get to at the end of the show. And then you take the average and that's the rating. So I don't know. I don't know how disastrous starting with Orange Cassidy is from a ratings point of view. Apparently his match with Jay Lethal is the best drawing match of 2023 for Dynamite. So this is why Tony has booked it again. Good reaction from the fans as well. I don't know. It's a tricky one to say if this is the wrong thing to do, to be honest. I don't know that it is. Don't know that it is. It might prove to be. You know, when the ratings come out, we might see that there was 1 million people that tuned in at the start, and then after the end of the first segment, it went down to 800,000, and they lost 200,000 people during the Orange Cassidy match. I doubt that's what's happening, but apparently we are going to hear from FTR tonight. There was a little thing that just popped up. So we are going to be hearing from FTR, which is good. That wasn't on the poster. Wardlow versus Powerhouse Hobbs for the TNT Championship. That's, I'm guessing, will be our main event tonight. Jay Lethal on the outside of the ring. And Orange Cassidy just standing back in the corner. Jay Lethal waiting to get back in. Crowd quite hot as always. Just constant chatter noise. Jay Lethal again on the outside. Walking around, trying to loosen up a little bit. Orange Cassidy jumps out and walks around, chases after Lethal as Lethal gets back in, goes against the ropes. Cassidy goes against the ropes as well. All goes down. Lethal, roll up by Cassidy, kick out by Jay Lethal. Lethal picks up Orange Cassidy. Cassidy lands on his feet. Lethal goes over. 1, 2, kick out by Lethal. Oh, backbreaker. Seemingly wasn't sold, though, by Orange Cassidy. There was a backbreaker there. He got there was a backbreaker, and I sort of got the feeling, I don't think Orange Cassidy knew that he'd been, like, that a backbreaker had happened, because he just went straight into the next move. Pulls on the arm. It's good pace, though. And Lethal goes out the ring. To clarify, his first name is Bobby, and his surname is Hay. Hay is the family's name. That's why I said Bobby Hay. So the family are called Hay, and they called him Bobby, so he's Bobby Hay. Makes sense. Bit strange to use the full name. Like, if you said, this is my friend, would you say this is my friend Brian, or would you say this is my friend Brian Jenkinson? I'd probably just say this is my friend Brian. Don't know. Each to their own. Each to their own. We give Kira a surname. We don't give Kira a surname. We don't give Kira a surname. Makes sense, though. Makes sense. I see what you did. WWE are interested in Brian Cage from AEW. Thoughts? Are they? Are they? Where's that been reported? Days, it's WWE's first time in Puerto Rico in 18 years. That's very cool. I mean, I'm very excited. Struggled to get a comment read for the past hour. Happy International Women's Day. Listen, I will always support the women. So I'm more than happy to read that, Tim. Tim, shout out to you. Do you think MJF's next challenger will be revealed tonight? I hope so, but I don't know that it will, because at the moment, MJF isn't on the show, and I don't even think we saw a little thing in the corner saying he was going to be on the show, so I don't know, to be honest. This could be a show that we focus on a few other titles and a few other things. Jay Lethal doing a strut. So Orange Cassidy on the outsides. Support the women. Yeah, support the women. Support the women, guys. Women. Is it Women's Day? International Women's Day? I think I might have missed the explanation for why Liv Morgan's at the bottom of the screen. Oh, because she's my new spirit animal. She's my new spirit animal. Her reaction to being shown at that basketball game. I think it was basketball game. Have you seen the fallout of this? So she was sat like looking like that, just very like bored and just disinterested. And there was a guy that was sat talking to her, and you could see messing with her hair, and you could see she would just wanted to be anywhere else in the world as this guy was chatting away. And turns out the guy is the senior vice president for live events for WWE. Quite important. And he was talking to her, and she was obviously zoned off. And this clip has gone viral, as everyone can clearly see she is not interested in what he is saying. And she was on the bump earlier, and she was like, oh, he's such a sweetheart. He's took it so well. She's like, you know, I was watching the game. I was thinking my own thoughts. And I mean, she had no excuse. It's not like she said that she wasn't listening or whatever. She was basically like, I was thinking my own thoughts. She basically admitted that she wasn't paying him attention. It's exactly what the video shows. I don't know that she'll get in any trouble for it, but it's gone everywhere. It's definitely a bit awkward. So, yeah, she's my new spirit animal now. She's living life like a boss. Just sits doing her own thing, like sat there, just in her own world. Someone chatting to her, not bothered. It's the senior vice president of live events. Couldn't care less. Having a little wonder, having a little think. Probably, I wonder what life was like in the 50s. Did they all go to the beach? Did everyone wear leather? I don't know. Yeah, she's my spirit animal now. Steve said, do you know if Wardlow got his TNT belt back, he had it stolen from a rental car? Well, if he didn't get that one back, I don't know if he did, but I mean, they'll have replicas, won't they? So he won't come down without a belt tonight. Let's put it that way. You watch the bump now? No, but the WWE. This thing was so big, even WWE mentioned it to her on the bump, and then they put the clip out on Twitter. So they were like, "There's more to the story about that viral Liv clip or something like this. Watch here." And then it was a clip to the bump, and so basically they ask her about it on the bump. So I didn't watch the bump. But I did watch that little clip that was doing the rounds on Twitter. What I will say, though, is in all fairness to the bump, I think it's got a bit better in recent times. When I first watched it was god-awful. I remember the first episode, they were like chatting about things that had been going on in the NFL, and they were just talking about loads of different things other than wrestling. And it was meant to be this sort of casual, let's talk about whatever's happening in the world kind of show. Obviously, you know, it's been going for quite a while now, and I think they've tweaked and changed things. And so I think it probably is a better show now. But it's just never been part of my regular viewing. I like the fact that they asked her about it, though. That's the kind of thing the bump should do. Do you know what I mean? That's the kind of thing that WWE easily could have avoided. But it's a big topic, and it's what people want to talk about. So, you know, if you've got Liv on the show, you've got to ask her about that. It went viral. You've got to ask her about it. So, fair play to the bump. Fair play to the bump. We was at commercial break. We've just come back from commercial break, and right now we're still underway with this match. And we have got Orange Cassidy in control against Jay Lethal. Cassidy going over to the corner. This match has been all right, you know. Jay Lethal down on his knees. We've been with this for 14 minutes. Jay Lethal charging over, collides into the corner. Orange Cassidy goes to the outside, looks to climb up top, but Jay Lethal grabs him. Shots coming in there by Orange Cassidy as Jay Lethal goes down to one knee. Shots coming back there by Jay Lethal. Tim said, I need Powerhouse Hobbs and hemorrhoid donut pillow. Oh. His hemorrhoid donut pillow. Have you got hemorrhoids? Is that why you need it? Tim, shout out to you. Days, you should know how that feels. No one actually listens to you either. Probably true. Their ratings are better than mine as well, so they're definitely got having the last laugh. Orange Cassidy up top. Boom! Into a DDT. Orange Cassidy comes round. Boom! Lovely. Another DDT. Two. Kick out by Jay Lethal. Kick out by Jay Lethal. Hangman Adam Page still to come tonight. Big up days. You got any 7-Up tonight, said Matisse. No. That was a while ago now, wasn't it? Have we not moved past that yet? I must admit that, honestly, it doesn't bother me that you'd think, even I was surprised that it didn't bother me as much as it should have. I genuinely was more upset at not getting points than the score. I tell you what, though, if it had been 10-0, which I know was a little bit more, if it had been the all-time Premier League record defeats, that would really have bothered me. I think as it is, it's still like the biggest defeat we've ever had to Liverpool or whatever, but that's not a stat that we ever really encounter. It's not a stat that I ever really see. But all-time Premier League, that one would have bugged me. But like, I couldn't. What's the biggest loss we've ever had against Newcastle? I have no idea. What's the biggest loss we've ever had against Man City? I have no idea. What's the biggest loss we've ever had against whoever? I have Leeds. I have no idea. I couldn't even tell you our biggest win against those teams. So like, that doesn't really bug me. I'm not really bothered about that. just it feels like it's an interesting stat. Like, oh, this is actually the biggest loss they've ever suffered. And you go, oof, I knew it was bad. I didn't realize it was that bad type thing. But like, I must admit, it was not getting the points that bugged me more. I thought I quite fancied a draw. I really did. Didn't see it coming. But we'll find out if it was a blip or not tomorrow. United play again. Oh, and I saw, was it, who got through today? Oh, PSG are out. PSG are out. Yeah, I was thrilled at that. Right. Cassidy goes down on his leg, kick to the back of the leg. Jay Lethal looking for a figure 4. Cassidy grabs him. 2. Cassidy on his feet. Backbreaker. Oh, flatliner. That's beautiful. That is lovely by Jay Lethal. Lethal going to the outside is trying to go up top. Looking like he's going to go for the elbow drop. Here we go. Oh. Knees came up. Oh, beautiful cutter. 1, 2. Shoulder up. Lovely cutter there by Jay Lethal. Crowd are really enjoying this match. Tony says we are getting a kick-ass match to begin Dynamite tonight. So, Jay Lethal holding onto his arm. Orange Cassidy definitely feeling the effects of his knee. Orange Cassidy going onto the shoulders of Jay. He gets hung out on that top rope. Lethal kicks the knee. Orange Cassidy goes down. Cassidy getting back up to his feet. Lethal. Oh! He collapsed. He tried to do it. 1, 2, 3. I sort of like that finish, you know. He went to do the handstand against the ropes, but his elbow had took too much punishment, and his elbow buckled. And he couldn't do it. At first, it looks, well, it is a botch, but I believe it to be a planned botch. If it's not a planned botch, then, they've saved it with the finish anyway, but I think it was a planned botch. But he goes against the ropes, look, goes for it. The arm goes, and he ends up getting Orange punched, lays him out cold, and Orange Cassidy gets the pin and the win over Jay Lethal. So he's won 15 of his last 16 matches. Jay Lethal on the edge of the ring. Jay Lethal going over to... What? What is that? Golden what? I don't even know what that is. He's got some kind of golden statue. Looked like he was going to wallop Orange Cassidy with it, but the referee is Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett lays out Orange Cassidy. Om's first AEW sign. Seems we got some Meltzer fanboys. Today's PSG are the biggest flops in European football. Oh, look at that. Smashes Orange Cassidy over the leg with the guitar. And we got a couple of best friends coming down and chasing Jeff Jarrett away. Gonna set up Orange Cassidy, Jeff Jarrett, do you think? So Jeff Jarrett in the crowd with broken guitar. Man, if I was in the crowd, I'd be like, can I have that broken guitar, Mr. Jarrett? That looks sick on a wall, wouldn't it? Look at this, a guitar that was he wouldn't give it you. But This was used. It's in AEW. I have that broken guitar, please, Mr. Jeff Jarrett. What's this? Might have new gear tomorrow. Also have an abundance of frustration to take, to say the very least. So we are seeing his car that was broken into. We're going back to Renee. Seems a bit light. Nay. It's so unfortunate what happened to you, Wardlow. You lost your gear, you lost your boots, your life is in shambles. One thing you've got left. And that's being called a champion. And I'm taking that. Back to you guys. Back to you. Wardlow against Powerhouse Hobbs tonight. I did post the other day, every winner at Revolution, apart from Malachi, was under 35. It's good that they're using experience to put over younger talents. Right, here's Ricky Starks. We're going to be hearing from him now. He had a decent match. His match was all right. Started off the show all right. Starks promo, I believe. You call this sports entertainment, says Vince McMahon. AEW sucks. Corvid said, wasted opportunity if they have Hobbs being the one that broke into the car and took it. Nay, said Nay. Oh, Nay. What's your name? Okay, Ricky Starks. Starks' pose is epic, said Rare Breeds. Who's that lady next to you? Does she sign NDAs? Maybe. She does. I tell you what she doesn't do. She doesn't listen. And we know that much. Ricky Starks then about to cut a promo. See what Ricky's got to say. Starks versus Paige for the #1 contender, said James. What next for Ricky Starks? For the past 10 days, they've been in California for the past 10 days, or he has. I think I'm having a hell of a week. I beat Chris Jericho at Revolution. Ricky reminds me of a young Rock, says Vince. Jim, a man called Wrestling Days came to the ring, his fate to blaze. He fought with skill. This sounds about right. He fought with strength and grace. He never give up, no matter the race. Bang on, Jim. I'd find a way of fitting that into my entrance music. In fact, I might have you just come out and just read it like a poem, and then we'll drop a big beat and go from there. Right, what's next? Here we go. What's next? Oh, hello. Bullet Club. Bullet Club. That's not Switchblades. Not Switchblades. Goose. Oh, my God. Oh, Juice Robinson. Wow, all of a sudden, Bullet Club on the screen. We thought he'd left Bullet Club. Oh, I didn't. I had no idea if he's left Bullet Club. Oh, anyone else thought it was Switchblade? I thought it was Switchblade. R.I.P. Starks. I thought Switchblade as well, said James. Yeah. I feel like that was wise. I don't know. Excalibur tells me it's incredible, so it must be. I love how Excalibur's like, we thought that he'd left Bullet Club in New Japan, but apparently not. I didn't think that. I haven't got a clue what he's doing. I don't know if he's in Bullet Club or not. I don't know what he's doing. Well, but apparently we thought he had left Bullet Club, but apparently he hasn't. Well, there we go. Juice Robinson attacks Ricky Starks. Who the F was that? Good feud. Jones and Stark said TJB23. I was for a second, then I remembered he's not in Bullet Club, said Jessen. Jay White, WWE debut. I don't know where he's going. If you could live out the career of any wrestler, who would you choose? Says Vince. Oh, question. Who would you choose, Vince? Or would you just stay yourself? You probably got in all fairness, Vince is probably the one you'd want to be, wouldn't it? I wouldn't need the whole, lawyer NDA stuff, but being able to book WWE since the early 80s. It's pretty sweet, isn't it? Technically, he was a wrestler, so being Vince would be pretty sweet. And you get to snuggle up to Linda. I mean, all's I'm seeing are dubs. All's I'm seeing are dubs. No, who would you want to be? I mean, being The Rock would be pretty damn cool, because not only did he have a great career, but now everyone loves The Rock. Although, did you see the XFL is once again not doing that great? Apparently no game is it week 2? No game in week 2 got over 800,000 views. So apparently XFL is struggling once again. But even so, I mean, he's one of the biggest names in wrestling history. He's one of the biggest names in Hollywood. Being The Rock would be pretty sweet. Probably have to go The Rock. It's a bit of a boring answer, but if you was The Rock, you'd be having 2 amazing careers. 2 different careers. Here's Wardlow. Wardlow's having to wear a 7-star FTR top. Where's your head at? More importantly, where's your belt at? Had to borrow some clothes. Couldn't he borrow a Wardlow shirt? I'm going to demolish him. I'm going to demolish Hobbs tonight. I am the TNT champ. No man on this earth is going to take that from me. Remember, wasn't it Jericho that lost the AEW championship? Oh, Nene's in the ring. What's Nene want? Ruby Soho. Ruby Soho making her way out with Saraya and Tony. They're still coming out with this stupid green spray paint, aren't they? Okay, well, they aren't coming to the ring with her. They've decided they just walked out and now they're going to the back. So they're leaving Ruby to go to the ring on her own. Ruby Soho. Okay, we got Nene and Ruby Soho. Been an interesting turn of events. Why? Few boos. It's obvious. Coach Co, shout out to you, buds. See what I'll get to your message in a sec. Gonna see what Ruby's saying. Run it back. My first title match was against Britt Baker. When she beat me, these people were thrilled. EMD chants. You face Chris Statlander. Cheer for her. No, you weren't here. You remember the response I got, Nene? So she said, like, she got booed when she faced Britt. She got booed when she faced Chris Statlander. Then we go to Revolution. We all love Jamie. No one would ever come to my defense. I don't mind this promo, you know. Penny Storm came here. She wasn't appreciated. The company didn't even appreciate her enough to call her an actual champion. They called her an interim champion. Fat, neck-bearded trolls. We've been outcasts since the day we came in. Think shut the F up chants are breaking out. It's a good segment for her. She needs like a bit of time, like exposure. Let's bring out my opponent. Another homegrown in Sky Blue. So they're bringing out Sky Blue. Sky Blue's getting a nice response. Hit coming in there by Ruby. So I don't mind that promo. Pretty paint by numbers, but it's probably one of the most interesting things I've seen Ruby do in a hot minute. Oh, man, she just hurled Sky Blue into that railing. And into the ring post as well. Sky Blue down. Hit coming in. Coach Co said, loose, watery stools. Here we go. Here we go. Let's turn this down. Now you get my interest. Loose, watery stools that occur more frequently than usual, forcefully expelling the stomach's contents out of the mouth. Huh? Loose, watery stools that occur more frequently than usual, forcefully expelling the stomach's contents out of the mouth. Is there like a sentence missing at the start of this as to what it is we're talking about? What is this? It's like something to do with like upset stomachs. I feel like I'm missing like something here. Coach Co, your facts have gone pretty cryptic Before it used to be, did you know, in 1952, the post office signed up to be part of the Girl Guides. I don't know. Whereas now it's all like a bit more cryptic, where I feel like there's parts of the fact that are missing. Loose watery stools that occur more frequently than usual. Full stop. Like, what? Forcefully expelling the stomach's contents out of the mouth. Kojiko, explain yourself. What the hell are you on about? What are you on about? Is that your review of that last promo? Guys, the reviews are in. They're not great. They're not great. They're setting up Thunder Rosa's return, said Jeremy. AEW streams is now William's trucker therapy session, says William. Sorry, guys. No more wrestling talk. Well, I am going to constantly try and grapple it back over to the subject of wrestling. But listen, we play fast and loose. We go wherever we need to go. And if it is loose, watery stalls, then so be it. Ruby making her way back over to Sky Blue. Coach Code needs a QR codes. That was my son who just commented. Ignore him. He sometimes takes my phone, said Krista. I've got a show. I've got snow in Birmingham. Yeah, I've got a dusting. I've definitely had some. Anna was saying earlier she's had a foot of it. Forearm strike there by Ruby. Ruby is making people puke. That's what he's saying, says Michael. You're gonna puke. He's gonna puke. Remember that, bro? What was that? Beyond the Mat. He's gonna puke. Oh, he's gonna puke. I don't even know if he did it, did he? And if he did, it wasn't much. In Beyond the Mat, he said that he could throw up. I'll call him puke. He's gonna puke. He's gonna puke. And then I think a little dribble came down. Rubbish. Gotta love wrestling. Hollywood Guy said, Days, one question. Why do wrestlers leave belts in the back seats of cars instead of in the trunk, or just leave it at home? Well, I can understand why you don't leave it at home. I could understand, like, I don't know if he was at a show or doing a house show, or if he was doing a media appearance or a photo shoot, or I could understand why he had to have it with him. But why it was just chucked in the back of the car, I honestly don't know. I mean, you'd think that it would be in some sort of bag, maybe put under the seats. Yeah, I mean, he is the victim, so I don't want to, victim shame, but if it was just out on the back seat, then he was sort of asking for it, wasn't he? Oh, baby. Ruby is embarrassing Sky Blue here. Sky Blue back in the ring, gets picked up, suplex there by Ruby. Ruby just chucking Sky Blue around. Sky Blue's like, come on. Although not with that much force, because she's getting smashed around. Another side, she does them suplexes well, Ruby. Ruby, Soho. Ruby is destroying this homegrown talent. Here's Kojiko. Here we go. So, Hollywood Guy, I agree. He asked for it. Hobbs stole it, said Rare Breeds. Coach Coach said, horrifying state of Michael Jackson's real nose, exposed cartilage and no nostrils, uncertain, possibly from Middle English palpen, to make a gulping sound whilst drinking, blow on a horn, toot. What are they? What are these facts? This new fact book that you've got doesn't make any sense. The old one used to understand it. Do you remember when you told us that the dot above an eye was called a tittle? And then we Googled it and you was telling the truth. And it was like, no way. Like, that was good, that was. We could all follow that. We all understood what was going on. You're talking about Michael Jackson's real nose? Destination unknown by Ruby. And she gets the 3. Exposed cartilage and no nostrils. He had nostrils. He had nostrils, didn't he? Are you telling me that Michael Jackson, when he died, didn't have nostrils? Because I'm pretty sure he did. I don't remember him just having, like... I don't remember this all being covered over. Possibly from Middle English. Pen. I don't even understand. I don't even understand it. It's another one that I don't understand. Throw this fact book away, Kojiko. Throw it away. The old ones were really good. Well, they weren't, in all fairness. You know what I mean? Some of them are good. Right, we've got Saraya and Ruby and Tony, and they're going to spray on Sky Blue. Willow is coming to make the save. Here's Willow. Yeah, I mean, look, the heels don't care. They're still... She's outnumbered. Why are they getting out the ring? Why have they got out the ring? Why is Saraya and Tony gone? Because Willow's come down. Why have they got out the ring? Now they get in. Attacker from behind. She didn't think this through, did she? Willow. So, Willow's down now. That's another one down. Is it... Do you reckon this sets up Thunder's return? Is someone good coming down? Okay, they've... I like the Ruby promo. The match was the match, but this stuff I don't need. I don't think this does anything. Our ladies' locker room has been put on notice. Nene, we're going back to Nene. God, Nene is all over this show. We're going back to Nene. Backstage with Hangman. I know what John's feeling. Black eye, look at his eye. All is well, said Hangman. Let that serve as a warning, said Hangman. You want to push me, I'll take you to hell. Is it safe to say things between you and John are finally done? I'm sorry for what you had to see. I like that he apologizes to Renee. He should have been involved more. He said, I want to apologize for you for the things that you had to see. She was like, I'd love to know what was going through her head. Right, let's go down. It's Coach Code. You don't have to keep putting in like super chats. There, here we go. Fortnite. Yes, no, maybe. Yes, no. I'm still trying to decode it. Still trying to work out what Kojiko was getting at. We'll get there one day. Do you remember when Miss Kitty showed her puppies at Armageddon on December December 12th, 1999. Why can't we have more moments like that? Perhaps with Jamie Hayter and those bun shakers. It's just this isn't the world anymore. We're not going for that shock value anymore. You know, think you don't see the likes of Jerry Springer anymore, do you? That kind of car crash TV was very much a thing back in the late 90s. And, you know, it's just not really around so much anymore. Do you even have those shows anymore, you know, where the people go on and they're like, we've got the DNA results. Like, we don't have those now. I don't think we have one. Can't think of any. We've got the DNA results. Tony, you are not the father. Ah! Are they around? Do they happen? Because we don't have them. We had one around about 5 years ago or something now. And then one of the people on the shows killed themselves. I know we're getting quite dark here. But killed themselves and the show was cancelled. And it didn't get replaced with like a new version or anything. It's just gone. Like all of that. Jerry Springer's still on. Is it still on? It's not still on. They might be showing repeats. Jerry Springer's a judge now, isn't he? Murray show. Yeah, does he do like the DNA ones? I don't know what he does, to be honest. Coach, here we go. Coach Co said the longest wrestling match in history was fought between Estonia's Martin Klein and Alfred Asikinainen. The belt lasted 11 hours, 40 minutes. Do you know what? Well done, mate. There we go. Well done. There we go. Look, the kids can cheer. You can have a wow. You can have a woo. You can have a...
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas.
You can have all of them because I understood that one. Hey, you knocked that out of the park then, buds. Hey, here's MJF. I made the dragon tap out. Got that triple B. Feeling good. So, what, next week is his birthday? Gonna have his bar mitzvah? Is he having his bar mitzvah? Isn't that when you have your... Dong-de-donged. That dong-de-dong-dong-dong. Right, here's FTR. This wasn't on the official preview thing, was it? We were saying, like, should have put them on this show, but here they are. I'd like to think Tony listens to us. Tony sits here watching these watch-alongs, listens to what we're saying. He's like, do you know what? You're right. Get me FTR. They're right, you know. They should be on this show. Former AEW and Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. Corey said the women's segment was god-awful. I honestly, I will defend Ruby's promo just because we don't get a chance to hear her speak. I can understand them wanting to make a bigger deal out of her. Her turning heel, it's not the biggest thing in the world, but you might as well try and make something of it. So her saying, like, you know, why did I do it? Well, do you remember this moment when you didn't cheer for me? Do you remember this moment when you didn't cheer for me? That was all right. I didn't hate that. But yeah, the stuff after was not great. Hey, what though? Loud FTR chants. This is certainly a good way of picking things up. Listen to the crowd, man. The crowd are going crazy for FTR. The crowd are going as crazy as that time when Kojiko finally sent through a fact that we understood. That's how big this reaction is. I miss that, says Cash. I want to say about how bad the last few months have been. They have. We lost to the Acclaimed. We lost to the Guns. We lost 3 sets of tag titles in a month. And then we lost one of our best friends. Jay Chance. Hollywood guy. I'll get your message in a sec, buds. Can't sit at home and watch Austin and Colton Gunn call themselves the best tag team. You're spoilt, you're entitled. Big cheers. He's a good talker, isn't he? Cash, he's a good talker. Here's Dax. I want to talk about someone else I care about, and that's all of you. Love this industry so much. This isn't a rah-rah babyface go me speech. And it kind of is. FTR chants. Time for retribution. Time to get even. Gotta hit you where it hurts. We could find you and beat you. That would be easy. But we've got to hit you where it hurts. We have to become AEW Tag Team Champions. Brilliant. Lovely. I mean, there's a team here saying why they need to achieve something, which means that you're going to want to see that match. I want to see that match. You're going to want to see that match anyway. But they found a good reason as to why it needs to happen. God, look, we've got Nene again. There are no challenges. 53 and 0. Oh my God, I'd love it if she called out Renee. That would have been sick. Imagine Renee having a match. That would have been cool. She's like, we're in Canada. I can't remember if it was next week, next month. She was like, we're in Canada. You're from Canada, aren't you? She'd have said, how about me and you? I'd love to have explored that. Because I haven't got any other challenges. Here's Jericho Appreciation Society. Hollywood guy said, fun fact, Ben Affleck is the only person to play 3 superheroes. He was Batman, Superman, and Daredevil. That's interesting. When was he Superman? When was he Superman? I must admit, my superhero knowledge is not very good. So that's interesting. I know he was Batman. I don't remember him being Superman. Turn it down. Hollywood guy, shout out to you. That's good. That's good. Maybe Coach Co could learn a little bit from that sort of facts. Short, to the point, interesting, thought-provoking. Ticked all the boxes, didn't it, buds? Very good. Very good. Well, AEW women are Canadian. That's a good question, isn't it? Let's have a look at the roster. AEW roster. Definitely not Thunder Rosa. Go down to the women. Oh, it's probably not going to tell us, is it? Oh, Abaddon? I haven't seen her in forever. Oh, did you know that? Apparently, Abaddon is inactive. She's got a broken collarbone and she's non-binary. She uses they or them pronouns. I didn't know this. I didn't know that. So, what, does she not? Abaddon is non-binary. Anna Jay has got dislocated ribs. Athena is Ring of Honor Women's Champion. I don't even know if I knew that, to be honest. I don't think I knew that. Not Britt Baker. The Bunny. The Bunny is from Canada. Ding, 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 ding. The Bunny. Get excited. Chris Statlander is from New York. Over to Layla Gray. Leva Bates is from United States. Layla Hirsch is Russian. God, we haven't seen her forever, have we, Layla Hirsch? Haven't seen her forever. Do you remember when the war broke out, she came out and she was wearing like camo? And everyone was like, that's not a good look. Haven't seen her. It feels like it's been about a year. Marina Shafir is from, I think, is it Romania? Mercedes Martinez is not. Paige Van Zandt is not. Penelope Ford is American. Rebel is American. Red Velvet is from Florida. Clearly not Rio. Ruby is from the United States. Soraya is English. Serena Deeb is United States. Skye Blue is from Chicago. High Mellow is Brazil. Thunder Rosa is from California. Tony Storm is New Zealand. Willow is New York. And Yuka, there's only one, and it's the Bunny. The Bunny is from Toronto. 35 years old, married the Blade in 2013. Formerly known as Ali and Cherry Bomb. So there we go. She was Cherry Bomb in 2011. Fun fact. Right, we are underway with Jericho Appreciation Society taking on AR Fox and some other people. Yes, here we go. Jericho Appreciation Society versus AR Fox and Top Flight. Top Flight. She's got big tars. Not seen Deeb in forever, says James. Corvid said the biggest name they could get that isn't signed would be Gail Kim and Taya Valkyrie, who is rumored to be joining AEW. Chris said, Wrestling Days, do you want to be friends? Sure. Sounds fun. Right, we are going picture in picture. And so let's go halftime scores. I could do with one really that's AEW themed, couldn't I? Halftime scores, everybody. It's really the halftime scores. I really want to know your halftime scores. Put it in the chat. Halftime scores, everybody. It's the halftime scores. Are you happy? It's the halftime scores. Are you happy or you sad? Halftime scores, everybody. It's the halftime scores. I should get that recorded. If I got it recorded, I could just press play then. Just sit here like this. Even that's WWE themed, isn't it? I never needed you at all. I wonder if for the AEW one I should record Judas. Not happening. It's not happening. Coach Co with another fact, and this one ticked boxes, baby. It was short, to the point. Up to you if it was interesting or not, but normal poop is brown, right? I mean, that's a fact I think we learned from a very young age. Normal poop is brown, but it does come in every color from tan to espresso. Every shade of brown from tan to espresso. There we go. I'm just trying to think, is espresso brown or is it black? It's coffee brown. Well, it is if you put milk in it, but I never put milk in it. I always drink coffee black. And in fact, I say that. How'd you like your coffee? Black. So is it not actually black? You do know what's going to happen now. Next time I have a coffee, I'm going to be like this. I think it is black. I don't know. Coach Co, well done, mate. Well done. Listen, what I love is you took the feedback on boards. And you've come back with some... I feel like we've really pulled you out of a dark place. I feel like you'd really gone off track. You'd really gone down some roads that you shouldn't have gone down. And I think this community has pulled you back. So shout out to you, Coach Co. It's been a journey, innit? We've been on a journey this evening. Welcome back, my friends. Right, okay. Jim said 7. I would love the Canadian to be Rosemary, who is from Winnipeg, to challenge Jades. Rosemary, if you are watching from Canada, Winnipeg, Jim would like it if you would face Jades. So if you are watching, Rosemary, any Rosemaries that are in Winnipeg in the area, think about it. 6 out of 10 said Mitchell. Mitchell, shout out to you, buds. Let him in, 6. Shout out to you. DJ Poison with 2 eyes with a 10. Definitely shout out to you. I've got both eyes on you, DJ Poison. See what I did there? Donald with a 6, David with a 6, Michael with a 5, Justin with a 7, Greg with an 8, Jojo with a 0.75 because we got Jade Cargill, Boomers TV with a 3.5, Justin with a 6, Jonathan with a 7.77, Virus with a 6. Just put in AEW after. Oh, what? I never needed you at all. AEW. Halftime scores. Everybody needs a halftime score. I can't even remember the song. I never hear it. You lot have heard it way more than me because whenever I play it, it doesn't play through the speakers. It only plays to you. I don't. I can't even remember how it goes. Halftime scores. Everybody watch your halftime score. Halftime scores. Everybody watch your halftime score. Halftime score. Halftime score. Watch your halftime score. That could be a new one, slower one. If you're going to put out an album, you need a nice mixture, don't you? Do you know what I mean? You can't just have banger after banger. You need a ballad. You need a ballad in there. You need something for at the end of the concert for everyone to put their arms in the air to. Do you know what I mean? If we was going to do a gig of halftime score songs, we do need a slower number. So, right, I think we're back. I don't know. We went to a commercial break. I don't ever go to them, but Finn coming in. Jericho kicks out. Kojiko again. Anyone else think Kojiko has got a book about poop? Because I'm definitely spotting a theme. Oh, that looked a little bit off there by one of the members of Top Flight. I want to have a little look at a replay of that. Looks underneath, goes over to the corner, back elbow, goes. Didn't really get it, did he? Back elbow. It's not too bad, actually, when you look at the replay. But it just felt like it didn't quite go to plan. Down he goes with Jericho looking to turn over. I don't know the names of this. I don't know his name. One's Dante Martin, isn't it? And then the other one's AR Fox. I don't know who this boomer is. Oh, Jake Hager and his hats. 1, 2, 3. And Jericho Appreciation Society are victorious. Jas win. Here we go. Diarrhea is Diarrhea caused by COVID-19 tends to be more watery, yellow or green in color. Is that true? Is that true? Yellow or green? I gotta say again though, interesting. Raslandi said Gail Kim's Canadian. Yeah, but isn't she like 62? How old is she? Gail Kim. She's 64. You know what I mean? She's boomer. She's got a rail card. Well, we ain't bringing her in, are we? She'll have to have a breather as she's making her way down to the ring. Is Daddy Magic? Mitchell, I'll get to your message, bud. We're the epitome of sports entertainers. After such a beautiful victory. It's only fair that we should be the #1 contenders for those trios titles. Okay, so they want okay, so we're going to start a feud with the House of Black. Sexiest group alive. I like this sexy hat, says Hager. So Black, turn out your lights. Now they're calling him out. Now they said he said it's one of the greatest entrances in pro wrestling history. Turn out the lights. Get your asses in the ring now. Lights go out. Oh, it's the elites. The elite. I must admit, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. Here is Kenny. Here are the Bucks. Hi, Chris. Hi, Chris. For the best part of 3 years, we've stayed out of your lane. You've stayed out of our business, and we've not got involved in yours. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don Callis just came running out. What's Don Callis going to say? What's this? You know, Chris. Everyone knows. It was the elite that established the World Trios Championship. They are the number one contenders, not you guys. Did he miss his cue or something? Was he meant to do the talking? The way he came running out is like, I've got this, I've got this. Chris, these, like, perhaps, was he meant to be out there at the start? You're one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time, Chris Jericho. Unfortunately. But you're only the second best wrestler from Winnipeg. And Ken is like, well, you know, it's hard to argue with it. Thank you. Thank you. Get your ass down here. So Jericho calling him down to the ring. Lights have gone out. Is this going to be House of Black now? Oh. Next week. You want these? TV goes off. What? They're on the entrance stage. Next week, if you want these, come get them. What are we doing here? Serve black chants. Talking about some creepy guys. Lights have gone out again. Surely they'll just have gone now. We can hear something happening. We can hear something happening. The lights are out. We can hear something happening. We'd love to show you what it is. House of Black have gone. Disappeared. I don't like the lights out. Rubbish. And the lights go out for so long as well. I mean, having the commentators saying, we can hear something happening. The lights are, you can't see anything, but we can hear something. The presentation of that, they've got to find a way of making it quicker, snappier. Those lights go out for a hot minute as well. I mean, it feels like it's probably 20 seconds or something, but it feels like ages when you're just staring at a black screen. And the poor commentators have got to try and fill the time as well. We can hear something going on. Listen, Jericho Appreciation Site against Elite. I don't mind that. I don't really know how it's going to work with House of Black unless it's like a triple threat or something. I don't know. Oh, here's Tony. What's he want now? Jeez. Orange Cassidy, Jeff Jarrett. So they've called it AEW International Championship. So they've renamed it, and somehow it's got some tie-in with Shazam. Okay. Well, the All Atlantic Championship is no more. It's leveled up, apparently, to the International Championship. Do you reckon that's got something to do with the flags on the belt not being in the Atlantic? And they've decided to change the name. Why have they changed the name? They haven't changed the belt. They've just changed the wording on the belt, apparently. So it's the same belt. It just says International Champion. So that means that Orange Cassidy is the International Champion. Next week. There we go. Mitchell said, do the halftime scores song, but to the tune of Judas. I am so proud to tell you I don't actually know the tune of Judas. Apart from the chorusy bit, you know that. Judas in my mind. I know that bit. I couldn't tell you how the verses go. I can't. There's no way you can avoid Judas if you do watch AEW, but I genuinely don't know how the verses go. I don't want to know how the verses go, so I'm quite happy. In fact, I wish I didn't know how the chorus went, but so we will not be touching that, let me tell you. Right, let's go. Shazam, people talking about Shazam. Kojiko, shout out to you, bud. Dude, you can slow down on the super chats. You can put them, I'll still read them if you just put them in as a normal. Well, I'll try to get to them. But Kojiko said, urine color. Oh my God. What the hell is going on? Why have we moved on to urine now? Okay, here we go. Urine color generally ranges from a pale yellow to a... is everything all right, Coach Co? Have you been getting like some tests or something? Like, where are these facts coming from? Are these things you've been told by the doctor? Or have you just got like a new book or something? What thoughts are with you? I hope everything's well, mate. Hope everything's well. Coach Co said urine color generally ranges from a pale yellow to a deep amber. This color is primarily caused by the pigment urochrome, also known as urobilin. Urobilin. It's to do with how much water you drink, though, isn't it? If it's a darker color, isn't that a sign? I'm always under the impression that is a sign that you are dehydrated. Whereas if it is a lighter color, then that means that you are well hydrated. I think everyone knows this, of course. But Does make me want to. What I will admit, I do want to search now to find out a bit more about that. I've never ever Google searched like how. I feel like it's true. I feel like that's true, but like how it affects the body. Thinking again, Coach Co. You're going to have me staring at my pee. You're going to have me staring at my coffee. You're going to have me doing lots of things, bud. Coach Co, shout out to you. Appreciate PFAX too. Yeah, PFAX, poop facts, PFAX. Guys, if you are interested in any pee or poop facts, this is definitely the stream for you. This is definitely the stream. If it's clear you are overhydrated. Is that true? Can you be overhydrated? Okay, I did not know that. I didn't know you could be overhydrated. I didn't know you could have too much hydration. If you love something, you got to fight for it, says Brian Danielson. But I realised Max was right. Legs, lungs, heart. Fight. My instinct was to fight. I realised I couldn't feel my arms. I didn't have any strength anymore. When Max said I wouldn't be able to play with my kids, he was right. I was putting myself before my family. Dramatic. More than tapping out, that made me more ashamed. A lovely video package. Time for me to go home, says Brian Danielson. It's time for me to go home. Lovely. That was a great little video package with a little piano over the top. Here is John Moxley. John. Coach Co said, last one for the night. Nose poop helps children understand why eating boogers is frowned upon on society. Nose poop. What's this? What do you mean? Nose poop helps children understand why eating boogers is frowned upon in society. See you on Friday. I don't understand that one though. Nose poop helps children understand while eating boogers. I'm gonna have to Google. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to Google it. Oh no, nose poop. I don't want to. Nose poop. Why does your nose run when you're trying to poop? Human feces pumped through a patient's nose. What? Poop nose. Nose poop. Nose poop help children's understanding. Oh. Have you took this? Nose poop helps children understand why eating boogers is frowned upon in society. Is the very first line of a review about a book called Nose Poop. Is that the book? I don't understand. Why have you ended on one I don't understand again? We had made such progress. I praised you for the progress we had made. Oh, OGCO. Right, John Silver, Alex Reynolds. Dark Order versus Blackpool Combat Club. Coach Co is a saint. I don't get that last one. It seems to be a line from a review of a book called Nose Poop, but I don't know why. I feel like we're doing some White Rabbit stuff. It's like White Rabbit, but less about rabbits and more about poop. What kind of stream is this, said Irish Rebel? Listen, I ain't the one that's dragging it into the gutter, am I? I ain't dragging it into the gutter. I just respond to you lot. Okay, blaming me for this stream. I'm trying my damnedest here. We've got just over half an hour to go. Days, time to go home. Daniel Bryan, WWE return. Oh my God. Oh my God, he's coming home. He's coming home. Do you think that Bryan Danielson turned around and said, I will never go back to WWE whilst Vince McMahon is there? And so what has happened is Vince has grown a moustache. He's pretending to be someone else just so that he can get Bryan Danielson to come back. It's worked. He's going home. He's going back to WWE. He thinks that it's now run by Vince McMahon, who happens to have a moustache. It all makes sense. It's all adding up. All of a sudden, the pieces are falling into place. This is amazing. This is amazing. Alfie said, Days, I sent you a Gmail with a clip for the member stream. I'm hoping it went through as that's my first time. I'll check for you, mate. I'll check. I mean, I've been checking book reviews for Kojiko, so I'll check. Yes, it's come through. I've got it. It will be on the members stream tomorrow, buds. And you've even put members only stream as the title, and that is very much appreciated, let me tell you. So you've done it well. You've ticked every box, mate. Yeah, if you are a member and you want to feature on tomorrow's member stream, send a clip in. No longer than a minute. Just because I always live in hope that we'll get lots of submissions and video or audio, and we will play it on the stream. Only thing I ask, send it via Gmail and put members only or members only stream as the title, because then I can easily search for it and find them and it won't get missed. That's it. That is it. Right, we are underway. You're fired. What are your thoughts on Vince's moustache? Just live his own life. Do you know what I mean? Just live your own life. I think it's it's a picture that everyone wanted to see what it was going to look like. I saw it. It just looks like he can't really grow a very good mustache. It looks like going through a phase, doesn't it? Looks like he's going through a phase. And do you know what? Do you know what's really crazy? I don't know if you ever heard the story. I don't know if it was JR or if it was Jim Cornette, but you know, he cannot stand facial hair. Apparently, wherever Vince went, he went with a razor, a shaver, and like every day he would shave. And even if he was in the car, he would be making sure that not a bit of hair had grown. Like he couldn't stand. So for him to now have a mustache is very surprising. Very, very. It might not sound like much, but when you've heard the stories, I'm sure. I think it was JR that said on his podcast and has said in his book that Vince would travel with a razor, with a shaver, so that he could not only shave in the morning when he got up, but actually shave during the day just to freshen up. To then find out that he's now gone and grown a moustache is a surprise. Right, Claudio in the ring and Moxley. Moxley looks all right, you know, considering he was in an absolute war on Saturday. Fair play to him. Doesn't even look like he's got any marks on him or anything. He must have, like, incredible self-healing powers. Brian heard the news about Roxanne Perez and can't go on wrestling. Absolutely sick with concern. Mox learned how to always keep the blade on him, like VK said. Very good. Nick said Jay White will be on the show this week or next. Well, I thought we were getting him earlier, and it turned out to be some sort of beverage. A Blackpool Combat Club match brought to you by Gillette. Listen, if Gillette were going to sponsor any wrestler in the world, 1,000% it would be Moxley. I mean, it is so, how he's not the spokesman for that company, I've got no idea. He uses more of their blades than anyone else. Walking the face of the earth. Still to come tonight, guys. Falls Count Anywhere. Wardlow versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Would WWE change Jay White's name? Ooh. Tricky, that is. Tricky. Because there are examples of them changing people's names, but then equally, AJ Styles is AJ Styles. Shinsuke Nakamura is Shinsuke Nakamura. Kushida was still Kushida. Asuka was changed. Would. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say under the Vince regime, they'd probably keep it. They probably would, but Triple H does the booking now. Would Vince insist on it? Would Vince micromanage to the point where he would say that they've got to change Switchblade's name? Or is he just not like operating at that level now, you know? Like he's in charge of the company, but is he focused on such things as that anymore? Or is he just off having meetings about selling the company? And because we don't know what's going on. I mean, it might feel like there's not much happening. It might feel like, well, yeah, what else is he going to do? But don't forget, he's probably negotiating potential sales of the company. You know what I mean? He could be meeting buyers. He could be meeting TV executives. He could be off doing all this sort of stuff. So, like, Jay White coming in, like, and first, like, is that on his radar? I just don't know. He'll be aware of it. But would he insist on the name change? They didn't change AJ Styles. But then you can make the argument AJ had made his name in Impact. So if you change his name, like, are you losing? Would people know it was him? That's interesting, that is. That's a really good question. Because I can see arguments for either thing. I mean, they changed Seth Rollins' name. Tyler Black, wasn't he? But would they change Jay White? I'm thinking no. New name for Jay White would be White Jay. White Jay. Here's White Jay. Racist. Put Wheeler Yuta in this match. Jay White cannot debut at WrestleMania. No one would know who he is, especially in Hollywood, said Krista. I don't disagree with that, to be honest. I think he would probably debut the night after WrestleMania. They might show him in the crowds or something, if, like, you know, if you wanted to do a debut in that way. Or, you know, you could have him come down and... Or you could introduce him. You could have, like, Triple H introduce him as, like, a major sign-in and introduce him that way. You know, ladies and gentlemen, we want to take this time to make a massive announcement. We have managed to secure the services of one of the hottest free agents in all of professional wrestling. Please welcome. And, like, they could maybe do it that way. Moxley looking for a triangle. No one knew who Tyler Black was, said Jessen. That's true. No one knew who he was, but would they do casuals know who Jay White is? I mean, you've got to be a hardcore wrestling fan to, like, know what's happening over in New Japan. And Jay White's been used a few times in AEW, but he's far from a regular, is he? So, like, unless you're watching New Japan, I would make the argument that the vast majority won't know who Jay White is either. Honestly, the vast majority of WWE fans only watch WWE. There might be some that watch AEW as well. And there might be some that have been introduced to him briefly as a result there. But I would argue not enough for it to be a problem if you wanted to change his name. You are definitely going to introduce him to the majority of your fan base for the first time. So I just don't know. I don't know what you would do. I mean, if you want to have ownership over his name and over his branding, you would change it. Do that. I really can't. I really don't know what they would do. Reynolds taps out. Blackpool Combat Club win to the surprise of nobody. John. Safety blade. Jason Black. Safety blade. Pocket knife. Pocket knife. Pocket knife Johnny Purple. Safety blade Jason Black. I love it. Very good. Silver comes in, breaks the hold. Blackpool Combat Club are being dirty heels here. There's a bulldog choke being applied here by Moxley. They're continuing to ring the bell. Here's Evil Uno. Evil Uno getting into the ring, kicks Moxley into the side of the head. Bumping away on Moxley. Shots coming in by Evil Uno. Here's Wheeler takes the leg away from Evil Uno. So Blackpool Combat Club are healing it up right now. They are healing it up. Here's Hangman. Here comes the Hangman. Hangman coming in. Telling Moxley to get away. So are we not done? Shot coming in. Claudio goes down. I thought we were done between Moxley and Hangman. Now they're beating up Hangman. Blackpool Combat Club all over Hangman. Hey, Nate. I don't understand. I don't know what's going to happen. We've got referees coming down. Referees are helping Hangman here. I thought they only helped Powerhouse Hobbs. They're helping the wrong person. Let them fight. Let them fight. Serge said, I thought it was over. Why do they keep punishing me with this? Well, I think as it evolved now away from Hangman and Moxley, as it evolved to Dark Order against Blackpool Combat Club. Still got our main event coming up. We've got 20 minutes left of the show. Coming up next, Falls Count Anywhere. Wardlow against Powerhouse Hobbs. Main event coming up next. It's coming up next. Mox is about to go to the back and blade it out. Commercial break. Heel turn. Mox didn't bleed. Not if the plan is to put Hangman in Blackpool Combat Club. Is that what they're going to do? Put him in Blackpool Combat Club? Imagine Bloodline in the ring. Raw after Mania, after losing the titles. AJ and Good Brothers come out. Roman starts laughing and says, you're outnumbered. AJ said, we didn't come alone. And then brings out Switchblades. AJ throws up the 2-Sweet and Switchblade comes out. That would be cool, man. That would be cool. That would be really cool because the people that would know him would pop big like us. And the people that don't know him would know this is a big deal because of the way he's been presented. And he's clearly a coming from Japan. He's a friend of AJ. Like, that gives you a lot of information. And it presents him as a big deal. It puts him right up there with the big boys. I love everything about that, James. That's a really good shout. It's a really good shout. I really like that. Book that, James. Book that, mate. Put that in the book. Get that in. We'll do that. Should we do it? We'll do that. We'll do that. It's a good idea. We'll go with that. But he is going to have to be called White J. I agree with Defcon Eric and Jack. Still Mark's complaint. Just watch a show for what it is, said LT. Are the Blackpool Combat Club heels now? I think so. Anthony said Evil Uno needs to get on the butcher's diet. The guy looks sloppy. I'll call Triple H now, said James. Good work. Matt said, Days, there's going to be a lot of signs next week that says Weenuk. It's a Winnipeg thing. Okay. What does it mean? Weenuk. Did I Google that? Weenuk. Oh, do I want to Google that? It's got the word ween in it. You know what I mean? Weenuk. I accidentally just typed it as a tweet, but thankfully I didn't send it. Could you imagine if I just sent out the tweet that just said Weenuk? Weenuk. The word Weenuk is a First Nation word that means penis. It's used to both make fun of and also in a literal sense. Dude, you're a Weenuk. It was penis. That's from the Urban Dictionary. It was penis. So there's going to be a load of penis signs next week. Everyone loves the Acclaimed. Here's the Acclaimed. Lol. Everyone does love the Acclaimed. Do you know who really loves the Acclaimed? Jericho. And the Jericho Appreciation Society. Apparently they love rap music. And these guys are a bunch of Weenuks. That's good. No chance, Michael Jackson. We're on TV more than you guys. They're still laughing. I think they wanted to join up. Golden One Center. We're in the city of Sacramento. Sammy Guevara against Action Andretti on Rampage on Friday. Takeshita taking on Preston Vance. Nyla Rose against Rio. Is this flipping 2019? The AEW International Championship. MJF Rebar Mitzvah celebration. The hell is a Rebar Mitzvah? Oh, and it is a triple threat. The Elite against House of Black against Jericho Appreciation Society for the AEW World Trios Championship. That was better as well, wasn't it? From Excalibur, not having to read everything out like a billion miles an hour. I actually feel like I got the information. Sacramento, this is your main event. Wardlow versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Kojiko, I thought you said you was finished. You little troublemaker. Kojiko said, it is a fact that if you eat poop, it will enter you and eventually leave through your poop hole. That is a fact. Hey, your facts have taken a very weird turn. Is this the same Kojiko that we've always known and loved? It's a fact that if you eat the poop, it will enter you and eventually leave through your poop hole. Kojiko's turned dark, man. I feel like Kojiko's like just been consumed by Bray Wyatt or something. Because we used to get like real straightforward facts. Now we're just getting bizarre facts. Kojiko's gone very weird. We've entered the Uncle Howdy stage of Kojiko. We're backstage. Oh my God, says Brandon. We want a regular match. Time for the main event. It is indeed. We are in the backstage area. We're in the car park area. Falls count anywhere. We've got Wardlow against Powerhouse Hobbs. They used that golden ring. Now he's got a keg. Oh, wow. He just hurled it at the car window. The car window just smashed into the side of this vehicle. Shame. It looks like a nice car. For a suplex. Like a nice car. Do we have to trash it? Wardlow. Oh, smashing Powerhouse Hobbs through the windscreen. Windscreen shatters. Wardlow has got Powerhouse Hobbs. We're in the backstage area. There's lots of cables around. There's some crates. We've done a number on that car. Right across the back. I wish I would stay by the car a little bit more. I feel like there's more we could do with that car. Aubrey's back there. We've got... There's a security thing. I'm guessing that's where when people park up, they have to go through that to get to the backstage area. They go into some boxes. I'm guessing they're going to make their way out to the ring. But we're still in the backstage area. There's not really anyone around. We're seeing the AEW trucks. It's got Jade Cargill on the side of one of them there. 2x4. Is that 2x4? Oh! There's an empty truck. Powerhouse Hobbs using a 2x4. Getting smashed into the side of this trailer. So they're fighting in the back of a truck at the moment. Shots coming into the midsection. That bit is blacked out, isn't it? Oh, it's been thrown through it. So he gets thrown through... why is that wall even there in a truck? Got thrown through a fake wall in a truck. Aubrey was looking for the pin. Might be a double knockout if Samoa Joe comes out. That's what I would do, said Alexis. Hobbs is going to win this, or did he grab that circle for nothing? The circle, the golden circle. I don't know. I don't know which way it's going to go, to be honest. Is that catering? It is kind of interesting having a little look in the backstage areas, though. It's lovely having a little snoop around. Now we're going to a little area where there's a monitor and there's some seats. I'm guessing this is where people can sit and watch the product if they want to sit and watch the product. We're continuing to walk around the backstage area. Wardlow with a shot. Powerhouse Hobbs responds with a strike of his own. He grabs a chair, wraps it around the back, straight across the back of Wardlow. Powerhouse Hobbs is big, isn't he? Powerhouse Hobbs. It's good to see him in the light. Got some real size. Wardlow hurling Hobbs into a shutter. Aubrey is trying to get them to head towards the ring. Wardlow still wearing that 7-star FTR top. As we continue to go towards Gorilla, out to the arena. We're out in the arena now. So we're out in the arena. We're out amongst the fans. And now we're heading towards the ring. How boring, said Tony. Damn this, we're at picture-in-picture. Picture-in-picture advertising the show. We don't get to hear because of picture-in-picture. There's nothing to hear, to be honest. There was nothing happening. I don't even think they were saying anything to each other, so I don't think you missed anything. Honestly, can we do Beyond Wrestling? Love Doug watch-along. Watch the pay-per-view. Have they got a pay-per-view coming up? Triple T will do that, wouldn't he? Triple T be down for doing that. Spinebuster. I didn't even know they had a pay-per-view, buds. Wardlow pops up. We got 7 minutes to go. Brandon said old school wrestling. Shots coming in back and forth between Powerhouse Hobbs and Wardlow. Big right hands by Wardlow. Headbutt by Wardlow. We're back in the ring. Clothesline. Down goes Hobbs. Wardlow looking to pick up Powerhouse Hobbs. He's got him up on his shoulders. Plants him down. The F10 to shoulder up. Shoulder up. Ojiko. Dude, you stopped. Remember when you said you stopped? Is everything all right, Kojiko? Like, well, I feel like you've absolutely lost your mind this evening in every single sense, with the amount of kind donations, but also with just the absolute carnage that you've been putting in messages. Is everything okay? I feel like we'll look back on this stream as the stream that Kojiko absolutely lost it, absolutely just lost his mind. Oh, big spine buster. 2, shoulder coming up. I can see it's in reference to cat poo. So what we're going to do is just momentarily, we're just going to pop that on the back burner. Just momentarily, we are going to get to it. But with about 5 minutes left of the show, I might just watch the end of this first before we get to the cat poo. Listen, I'm interested. You know I'm interested. Hobbs. Coming over. Curse One, shout out to you. Mitchell said, Kojiko, drink some water, buds. Days, how can you have double DQ in a Falls Count Anywhere match, said James. It's a good point. Good point. Going under the ring. Hello, what we got here? So there's a railing that's been busted open. Powerhouse has grabbed a table. So there's a table being set up by Powerhouse Hobbs. Wardlow is over by the railing. He grabs a bottle of water. He's having a drink. Having a drink. And he spits it in the face of Powerhouse Hobbs. Rains down some shots. It looked okay. I think Hobbs could have sold him a bit better. Wardlow up top. Swanton bomb. Swanton bomb onto Hobbs that was on a table. He goes for the cover. 1, 2. Oh. Hobbs looked out, man. Hobbs looked out. Hobbs did not look like he was conscious. many men on Earth could withstand the kind of impacts. We've got a "This is awesome" chant. Fans are into it. Fans are enjoying it. Powerbomb Symphony. Powerhouse Hobbs gets slammed onto that entrance ramp. Let's see, is Liv Morgan impressed? They're saying awesome. They are saying awesome. This is awful. I love these chants, said Rock and Zog. Shots coming in by Wardlow. Dragging Powerhouse over to the commentary table. They never use the commentary table, do they? In fact, it doesn't look like a commentary table that can be used. What, with the screens on the front of it? That QT Marshall? QT Marshall with a chair. Does it say QTV? Does his shirt say QTV? QT Marshall is smiling. He's used the chair. He's walloped Wardlow with it. No DQ. The belt's on the table. Okay, they're both working together right now. Gonna look to powerbomb Wardlow. Chucking him onto what is that? I don't even know what that is. Some sort of crash mat that's got some cardboard on it. Some wooden boarding. We're up to 7, 8, 9. Ain't gonna get up. 10. Powerhouse Hobbs wins. Got a new TNT champion. Powerhouse Hobbs wins with the help of QT Marshall. Taz says we have not seen QT Marshall in forever. Powerhouse Hobbs, the new TNT champion. Wardlow is still down. Oh, hello, camera getting in the way. We've just got a shot of a camera. Like Hobbs' shirt, you know. I haven't commented on that. His shirt looks cool. Well, even though the match didn't massively grab me, I think Hobbs being champion, I've got no complaints with that. I like his shirt. Didn't need QT Marshall getting involved, but suppose you got to find a way of protecting Wardlow, haven't you? I think that looked a bit silly. The powerbomb onto that airbag that had just a very thin layer of like boarding on it. That's it. End of the show. Get in your scores. Whilst you're putting your scores in, I'm going to read this from Kojiko. What is common cat poo? It's the big question everyone asks. What is common cat poo? A healthy cat should have a deep brown poop that is neither too hard, nor too soft, nor mushy. Guys, if you are a cat owner, write this down. Because a healthy cat should have deep brown poop that is not too hard. What you want to do is you want to grab some right now if you've got a cat. Feel the consistency of it. It shouldn't be too hard, nor too soft, nor mushy. You want it to be quite crumbly. That's what I'm getting from it. Quite crumbly, I would imagine. Not too hard, not too soft, not squishy. You want it to not be mushy as well. So grab some of that. Put it in your fingers. Maybe taste a little bit. See how much water is in there. That'll tell you. That'll give you a really good idea as to how healthy your cat is. Most cats poop at least once a day, while some stench is normal. It shouldn't be overpowered. Interesting. So give it a little sniff as well. Give it a little sniff. Is that an overpowering smell? Could be an addictive smell. Who knows? You might get addicted to cat poop. You know what I mean? You might be snorting it by the end of the... You could even play a game. Can you tell what your cat has been eating? Just from... Well, you'll probably know because you're feeding it. Just from the taste. I don't know. I mean, again, look, my biggest takeaway here is I really hope that Coach Co is all right. If it turns out Coach Co is actually trying to get attention for help, if he's been captured, if this is meant to be like a cryptic clue that we're meant to decode, that would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? That would make a lot of sense. Because this isn't the sort of messages we tend to get from Coach Co. It does feel like a cry for help or something's gone wrong. I hope Coach Co is safe. I hope Coach Co is healthy. I hope everything's okay. I don't know if this is drugs. This could be drugs. This is what drugs can do. Drugs are bad. If we've learned anything from South Park, we've learned that drugs are bad. And I think what we're seeing here is abuse of some sort of substance. I don't know what substance it is. It might be glue. Maybe it's cat poop. Perhaps if you eat and sample too much cat poop, this is what happens. I don't know. You're seeing the same messages I'm seeing. We're experiencing this together at the same time. It's very hard to decode, isn't it? It's very hard to decode, but I just hope you're all right, mate. Just hope you're all right. The thoughts of this community are with Coach Co this evening. Mitchell said they advertised it as Falls Count Anywhere. So why would Account challenge? Why would Account change the title? Account is a DQ. Falls Count Anywhere can't end in DQ. It counted in it was counted in a 10 count, wasn't it? They didn't DQ it. There wasn't a DQ. It was a 10 count. I mean, falls count anywhere. I mean, I don't know if they said it was last man standing. To be perfectly honest, didn't pay it the level of attention that many of you paid it. To be honest, I don't. I'm gonna give you a little insider here. I don't care. I don't care about Wardlow against Powerhouse Hobbs. I don't care about that belt. Doesn't mean anything. Samoa Joe had it not that long ago. And now Wardlow's got it. Now Powerhouse Hobbs has got it. Someone else will probably have it next week. I mean, the All-Atlantic Championship's now the International Championship. So, I mean, I watched it. I watched the match. But that's my level of engagement with it. Falls Count Anywhere. I mean, look, Falls Count Anywhere. That doesn't have to be a 10 count. That could have been a 3 count. That could have been a pin. They've gone with a 10 count. But it's not a DQ that's finished the match. So we don't need to worry about that. New champion. All you need to take, honestly, this is what I would say. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Don't give it another second's thoughts. Right? It's done. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Do you know what? It could have ended with a magic fairy arriving, going, "Oh, you're the champion now." Woo, right? Yeah. doesn't matter. It's in the past. It's done. Got a new champion. It's Powerhouse Hobbs, right? He's good. I mean, he could be a good champion if they invest in Powerhouse Hobbs. Then we could get somewhere. I don't really like QT Marshall being with him, to be honest. QT Marshall, I don't find very credible, very cool. I mean, unless we're going to do a big character change for him, I just think he's quite cringe. I mean, wasn't he like losing to Hook not that long ago? And like being like quite cringe about it. He kind of everything he does is like OTT, and I don't know. I mean, that works for Thea Hale, but she's in a very different position in the company. She. I don't know. I don't like QT. I've never been a QT fan. I think he's probably an excellent trainer, but yeah, putting him with Powerhouse, I don't know. But he could be a very credible champion. He could be good. I like Powerhouse Hobbs. So we'll have to see kind of what he goes on to do now. John said, none of the titles have credibility or significance. He's lost all of his matches. I know, yeah. It's kind of, in my mind, and I'm sorry if people disagree, but in my mind, it would be like putting Peter Avalon with Powerhouse Hobbs. Like, it's just not, he's just got no credit in the bank. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would actually prefer that, if I'm being honest, because I actually feel sorry for Peter Avalon. I actually feel sorry for him because I just never get a chance to see him on TV. I've seen more of QT Marshall. And so he's actually been getting on TV from time to time, whereas Peter Avalon can't even get onto Dynamite. So actually, if they had refreshed Peter Avalon's gimmick and made him a bit more credible, and they were going to give him some TV time, I'd feel pleased for him. I'd be like, well, at least he's getting on TV. Whereas QT Marshall's been on TV, and he's honestly always been awful whenever I've seen him. He always loses. He's basically like a king of the jobbers. He's never been used in any kind of prominent kind of positions or feuds. He had a feud with Hook, which I thought was awful. And now they've put him with Powerhouse Hobbs. Now, if it is going to be like a refresh for him and it's going to be a way of like changing his character and everything, then okay, well, let's see where it goes. I'm not saying, oh, this is garbage or this kind of stuff. I'm really not saying that. I'm saying that Powerhouse Hobbs could be a really good champion. And so I'm not going to worry about where we've been. Like, the belt was on Wardlow. It's now not on Wardlow. In all fairness, that frees Wardlow up to go after MJF if we want to do that. So, even that's not the worst thing in the world. It's just really hard to care about that belt because I just don't think it's been built very well. I mean, did Darby have it? Darby had it, and then he lost it to Samoa Joe. Then he lost it to Wardlow, and now he's lost it to Powerhouse Hobbs. Like, I don't feel like this belt has been on anyone for a considerable amount of time. In fact, have we even got the history of it? Let's have a look. Because I might be wrong. There might be some epic recent reigns that I've just not given credit to. Let's have a look. List of AEW champions. So Samoa Joe had it for 32 days. Wardlow had it for 4. Wardlow had it for 4. Samoa Joe had it for 30. Darby Allin had it for 28. Samoa Joe had it for 46. In all fairness, Wardlow had it for 136. So that's about, 3 months? Bit longer. Well, longer, actually. Longer, that's like nearly 6 months. So that was a long reign. I don't remember that being a brilliant reign, though. But Wardlow had it for a while. Before that was Scorpio Sky for 70. Before that was Sammy for 12. Before that was Scorpio Sky for 37. Before that was Sammy for 42. Before that was Cody Rhodes for 35. Before that was Sammy for 84. Like, that Wardlow reign is the longest for a while. Outside of that, the belt has been moving around every month, every couple of months. I think if you're going to put it on Powerhouse Hobbs now, and this is what you want to do, I would leave it on him now for a while. I would leave it on him for a while, and like really give him like a good 6 months with this title, because I think he's got a great look and he's a big future star. I don't think that Wardlow's TNT title reign did anything for him. The biggest Wardlow was when he was feuding with MJF. And I think like him being TNT champion just didn't really do much for him. Doesn't mean that it can't do something for people if it's booked well. So hopefully we're gonna, book it well. What I will say actually is I'm gonna give Tony a bit of credit, right? I'm gonna give Tony a bit of credit. I actually think the way he's using Orange Cassidy is very good. Orange Cassidy, I think, has opened the 3 recent Dynamites, and his matches tend to be pretty good. And so, as a result, I am now seeing Orange Cassidy wrestle matches on a regular basis. They're competitive, they're credible. I mean, maybe the start when he's first kicking them or whatever, but once the match gets going, he's good. Like, he's got real skill about him. They are seemingly presenting him as like a credible champion. So I know a lot of people have got very intense feelings about Orange Cassidy. And I've always said, like, I don't mind his laid back gimmick. Don't mind it. Because I think like everyone can relate to having to go to work and be a bit like, oh, I can't be bothered. So I think him being a wrestler and being like, I can't really be bothered. So it's kind of relatable. But once that bell sounds, you can't carry that into the match because you're going to get beaten up and it's dangerous. Like you're going to pay for that. So, but we're not seeing that now. Like now what we're seeing is we're seeing the bell go and he's starting to get involved in some proper matches. So I actually think this presentation is a much better way of presenting Orange Cassidy. The fact he's got some big wins as well. Good credible match. It was a good match against Jay Lethal today. Good match. So, him getting the win there, and it sets up the match against Jeff Jarrett on Friday. I like the change of the name of the belt as well. I think All Atlantic doesn't mean anything. All Atlantic doesn't mean anything. Like, but this is now international. Like, all of a sudden, I can understand this belt has got a bit more of a purpose. I like the name change. I think the way we're presenting Orange Cassidy is better. I actually think that belt is starting to do something for Orange Cassidy. And I think we just need to do that now for Powerhouse Hobbs. So there is a bit of a template there for us to follow for Powerhouse Hobbs. But yeah, I don't mind it. But what just happened in that match, honestly? Whatever. Yeah. Well, I didn't see the scores. I need to go back and see what people scored it. I thought tonight's show was all right. Thought it was all right. Donald L, shout out to you, my friends. Appreciate the support. It's doubled it up at the top for some reason. I don't know why. Let me scroll back up and see what people's scores were. I don't know if people did put them in or not. Scroll up. I thought people were putting in scores. Jono says 3. Jakeem said 3. Oh. I thought it was all right. I thought the show was all right. Let Him In said 6. I mean, I thought the Orange Cassidy match was all right. That opened the show. I thought the FTR promo was pretty good. I liked the Danielson and the MJF little vignettes. Thought they were pretty good. Ruby's promo I thought was all right. The match afterwards was pretty paint by numbers, but I wasn't offended by it. Juice Robinson attacking Ricky Starks. I must admit, at that point, I thought this is Jay White, and I was getting quite excited. So that was a little bit of a come down. But Juice Robinson's a good wrestler. So, I mean, that's not bad. House of Black. Elite coming out and, like, confronting Jericho Appreciation Society. That was okay. House of Black was okay. I do think the lights out thing's a bit silly. The lights out being out for as long as what they are, they've got to find a way of making that snappier. Like it's not impressive if the lights go out and they're out for ages and like then they come back on and the people have gone. Like, of course they've gone. They've had ample like that works if it's lights out, lights back on, and they've gone. Like, then the lights out like makes sense. But lights going out and staying out for ages and then coming back on, and what am I meant to be impressed they're gone? Am I meant to be impressed that they've gone? Of course they've gone. They'll be, the lights are out for so long, they're probably in a different city by now. They've got to find a way of making that snappier. The lights out thing just takes way too long. 7.3 said John, I didn't like the end or Wardlow's brief title run. I think, honestly, I think his brief title run is just so they could get it onto Powerhouse Hobbs, wasn't it? Because I think, like, doing Samoa Joe against Powerhouse Hobbs probably didn't make much sense, doing, like, heel versus heel. So really, Wardlow is literally just a transitional champion, that's it. But maybe, as I said, maybe their plans are for Wardlow now to go after MJF, which, that would make sense. I mean, Wardlow's got wins over MJF. It would make sense to do that feud. 6 said JoJo. 6 said let him in. Mitchell said 6.75. Spray painting was dumb. I agree with that. Adam said WWE's The Bump celebrated International's Women's Day with guests of Beth Phoenix, Liv Morgan, Trish Stratus, and one half of the women's tag champs, Lita, earlier today. Very good. Pace Coasted said extremely mid-show. Main event was a great match, but not much else happened. No Jamie Hayter. Congratulations to Powerhouse Hobbs. Red Breed said 6. Erotic Fresco said 6.25. William said I scored it a 4. James said they said last man standing and KO and can't continue. So I guess that's where the 10 count comes into play. I didn't hear them say last man standing, to be honest. I saw the graphics say falls count anywhere. It seems like they were constantly like, I don't know, that match didn't have any stipulation before, did it? And then all of a sudden it was having all these things getting added to it. I mean, I agree it was messy, and I agree they should have made that a lot cleaner, and everyone should have been on the same page with it and whatever. As I said, look, it's in the past. It's done. We move on. I'm going 6.75, said Mitchell. Okay. Got a few scores that have come in there. 3.5 from Boomers. Justin with a 6. Mitchell said, what do you rate it? Probably about the same, but probably about 6.75. I mean, yeah, probably about 6.75. Oh, there wasn't, can't say there was anything here that like really offended me or annoyed me or anything like that. But equally, there wasn't really much that blew my mind. Maybe they could have and should have come up with a stronger offering following Revolution. Like, I don't feel like there's much here that's going to generate much buzz. I think amongst the AEW fans, Powerhouse Hobbs becoming the champion will be a talking point, but I can't see that really connecting with people that don't watch the show. Powerhouse Hobbs doesn't have much name value, so because we haven't built him up. So, like, I don't feel that we've done much to like grab the casual fans. You know, is there anything here that's going to bring back the 200,000 and get it to 1 million? Like, I feel like the show could do that because obviously they're coming off what was a very well received Revolution. So, I mean, the show could do that for that reason. But other than that reason, was there anything here that would have really grabbed people's attention? No. I feel like they're trying to just tell some stories and push the show forward a little bit. And honestly, them trying to tell some stories, good. That's what we want to see in it. That's what we've been missing. We haven't been having any stories. So, you know, FTR now making their intentions about going after the Guns and why I like that. Ruby joining up with Saraya and Tony. I mean, I'm not a fan of the spray painting, and I think they're quite cringe. But actually, I liked Ruby's promo. So, like, I thought Ruby's promo was kind of interesting. I think I just like Ruby. Ruby was good in NXT, and I felt sorry for her. I mean, like, the fact that they named the Riot Squad after her because she was Ruby Riot kind of meant that it felt as if they saw something in her, but then never kicked on. Riot Squad should have been what Damage Control are now, and they were never they were never booked that way. They were never put in that position. And so I think I just feel sorry for Ruby. I don't feel like she got her fair chance. I don't feel like she got a fair shake. So I wanna see them like try and do something with her. And do you know what? If they try and it fails, well, there we go. Then it was never going to work. And maybe Vince was right, but I want to see them try. So I do like seeing Ruby get some TV time. So yeah, I mean, like at least we've got something going on with Ruby there. We've got a new champion in Powerhouse Hobbs, FTR are back as we said. We've got 3 teams going after the trios championship. So yeah, I mean, I think there was a few things that we're trying to do, a few stories we're trying to tell. 675, I think, is very fair. I think it's very fair. Liv didn't pay any attention to it. She wasn't bothered, was she? She wasn't bothered. I think there's a good chance she'll be there on SmackDown as well. So I've got a feeling she's gonna not be paying much attention to that either. As I said, she's my new spirit animal. Right, we're done. Listen, I'm going to go anyway because we do run the risk of Kojiko firing in another message that just makes us even more concerned about the mental state of Kojiko. So I'm going to go before Kojiko does send in anything else. But I, of course, appreciate the support, my friends. Really appreciate people joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. As I said, I thought it was an all right offering, a decent offering. We will be back on Friday with SmackDown. Of course, we've got UFC coming up on Saturday as well. And I think that's everything. Yeah. Appreciate the support. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.